Well, guys, you are in for a treat today. I have Keaton from Keaton Talks Sports joining me. Welcome, Keaton.
What's going on? How are you doing? Thanks for having me on.
Hey, thanks for coming on. I just popped an energy drink. I don't know why. I really don't need it. The schedule came out. You know what? It's kind of funny. I remember a time when the NFL didn't do the schedule like they do now. For example, I'm a Chiefs fan. I remember the last game of the year would be like Chiefs versus Panthers. And the NFL just recently changed things around. Here's a little fun fact. The 1972 Dolphins, the only undefeated team in NFL history, as of now, they actually played the AFC Championship game in Pittsburgh, not in Miami, because the NFL used to do the scheduling. They did so many things differently. So I really love what the NFL did with the scheduling, and I think they did a fantastic job this year.
Right.
What's your opinion?
Yeah, man. I mean, there's a lot of great matchups. I know, Jets 49ers. Obviously, that's a big time matchup early on in the year. So we'll see. I know the Jets, like you said, are pretty loaded. So I think they're going to get tested early. So we'll see how they do. But yeah, I'm just excited. A lot of good matchups.
I'm excited too. We're going to go over the schedule, but unfortunately, I'm gonna throw a curveball at you, Keaton. And One Pride nailed it. One Pride says, "So what do you think of the Harrison Butker comments?" And I'm going to lead off with this today. For those of you who aren't familiar, Harrison Butker is a Catholic man, and he spoke at Benedictine College. Now, a lot of you don't know what Benedictine College is. I've actually been on the Benedictine campus. It's a small Catholic college in the Kansas City area, and Harrison Butker gave the commencement speech to that college, which he thanked his wife, and he also spoke against or for traditional values in Catholicism. And I was going to go to his Instagram page and show you all the hateful comments, but I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to put people's profiles up there on this channel and show you what they're saying. And I'm just going to talk about it real fast, because if Keaton wants to put on a dress after the show, identify as a hippopotamus, and go out with some dude, he's still welcome on this show. I don't care. He could be part of the LGBTQRST community, and it doesn't bother me. I'm not a leftist. It doesn't matter. I don't care if you're, whatever you want to identify as, whatever your sexual preferences are, you're welcome here. But there has been so much hate against Harrison Butker for just thanking his wife for raising the kids and just being pro traditional values. They're calling for him to be fired from the NFL, not just for the Chiefs to cut him. Matter of fact, the Chiefs are getting hate. The NFL's getting hate. Keaton, before I continue ranting on here, have you heard about this? I want to get your opinion as somebody who's not a Chiefs fan.
Actually, just when you told me about that earlier, I went and watched it just a little bit ago before the show, and I didn't watch the whole thing, but I saw some of the comments that he said on his speech. Like, I think the one thing, it was powerful, like what he said. I think just watching what he said, what caught my eye, what he said about his wife, how he wasn't the man that he was or that he is now without his wife. So I think that was something that's like, like that support system, like for me personally, that support system matters, having the right people, in your life that, that's going to put you in best position to succeed. And obviously there are people who are in support of what you're doing. So, I mean, it was powerful. But I like how he didn't back down what he said. He just stood firm what he believed in and all that stuff. So, like I said, I'm not a Chiefs fan, but for him, I think I gotta give him respect for standing up, because most people wouldn't even have done what he did by going up on stage and saying what he said. So yeah, that's all I got to really say.
I couldn't agree more. I think it's really kind of a shame that when you give praise to your wife, that we live in a time where you're being asked your boss, which is basically the Kansas City Chiefs or the NFL, depending on how you want to look at it, is asking to fire you for just saying what you want to say. And I think it's really a shame that we live in a world today where there's no longer a freedom of speech. There really isn't. And that's something that the left, the LGB, whatever, is trying to shut down freedom of speech. And I think that's really dangerous. And so I just want to say, now I'm a little biased because I'm a Catholic man. I call myself a non-practicing Catholic. I've been churching forever and a Chiefs fan. So I'm a little biased, but when we start trying to censor speech, I think that's a big problem. If you wanted to come on my show and say, hey, look, I'm pro, gay rights, but for somebody to speak out against that stuff and then say, oh, hey, look, you got to fire this guy, you got to release him, I think that's a problem. So what do I think of Harrison Butker's comments, One Pride? I think that more people in sports and society need to speak those type of things, because I'll go. I'm sorry, I'm having some technical difficulties here. Hopefully that is not a problem. Okay, there we go. So I'm gonna go out and let I think that this community is very similar to what Nazi Germany is and what they were trying to do. I know I don't expect Keaton to agree with me. I don't expect most of you to agree with me. But when you start censoring and taking away freedoms, by the way, you can go by that. How to eliminate freedom? You take away little things one at a time. I'm paraphrasing a military leader by name of Adolf Hitler, and that's what the LGBT whatever it is trying to do. I think it's that bad. I think it's that evil. So, all right.
Right.
I'm off my soapbox. Keaton's looking at me like I'm crazy. Keaton's like, hey, Dan, can we start talking about the schedule? Oh man. So there's some great comments. By the way, there's some great ones here. Funk. I have to get away from Lions fans. Listen, Funk, as a Chiefs fan, I could tell you for a fact, and Keaton, because he's younger, like he's on the tail end of that dynasty. When a franchise starts getting good, the fans come out from left field. By the way, Funk, go in my comments and you'll see that comment from a Lions fan made back in September. He just posted like a few days ago. I got trolled a little bit from one of your Lions fans. I think you know who he is. That's pretty weird. Slasher! Woohoo! Let's go. It's getting closer and closer to kickoff. Hall of Fame game should be an entertaining one. You know what? I didn't even I'm going to do over the regular season. I'm not going to go over the Hall of Fame. But do you remember last year? Dorian Thompson Robinson DTR won the winning the second string spot, and now he's like fourth string because Cleveland brought in a bunch of other quarterbacks. But preseason has some stories. It's going to be entertaining. This is, oh my God, I am so happy. This is my girl, Addie. This is Addie. I worked with Addie. She is my friend. She is awesome. Addie, you have my number. Text me. I miss you too, Addie. I miss you too. Addie's really great. Perry, what's up? Hey, Dan. Keaton.
What's up, Perry?
Hey, man, I'm super. I don't know why I'm drinking energy drink. I'm super jacked up today. Keaton, man, how are you doing, man?
I'm just doing great. I'm just excited for just the football season. I know it's the most boring time of year. We got through that part, the mock draft process, and then the draft, and schedules finally came out. I'm just ready to get to the preseason. So we'll see. It's going to be a free note. So I'm excited for it.
And I know you're excited, just like everybody else. Can the Chiefs repeat? That's the only thing on your mind. It's the only thing. Okay. All right.
It's been a lot of talks about that for sure.
I hear one more person talk about how great of a team-friendly deal golf took. I might break in 2026 golf. A 69.6 cap hit was so insane, making 61. That's 130 charge. No hutch. Funk, I'm glad you brought that up because I'll ask Keaton here in just a second. But so I was floored about the golf contract. I didn't see it coming. I really didn't see it coming. But when it did, let me ask Keaton first. Keaton, I don't want to take words out of your mouth here. Have you heard of this being called a team-friendly deal?
I mean, like you said, I didn't expect him to get this type of money. I mean, like, there's some stuff going around how Jared Goff wasn't even like a top tier quarterback. Like, so for him to get this type of money, I mean, that just shows that the Lions, they see something in him. They believe in him. If they didn't believe in him, they wouldn't have gave him that money. I mean, look at the Cowboys situation with, Dak. He probably should have gotten his money by now. But the fact that he didn't get his money, that just shows that, the Cowboys don't really invest in him like that. So, yeah.
I actually would have been less surprised if Dak got that contract than Goff. But Funk, I'm floored that people have referred to this as a team-friendly deal because that's the last thing I would have seen. You're paying Goff like an elite level quarterback, and bottom line, he's got to produce. And when I say produce,
I mean,
got to get the ring.
The ring. I mean, I was gonna say, like, at least, I mean, I know the Lions got to the NFC Championship game, and that's as far as the Cowboys ever gotten. So I mean, Jared Goff is doing something. I mean, like I say, he's got to get the ring though, but I mean, he's been more farther than Dak Prescott ever has. So
yeah, and by the way, look at what Dallas is doing with Dak Prescott. They're not re-signing him. They're saying, hey, you know what? We're gonna wait and see. And I was really expecting Detroit to do the same thing because you invested that 3rd round pick in Hendon Hooker, a guy I thought you could have taken in the 1st round. And I keep in mind I was a huge Hendon Hooker fan. I think hindsight I was a lot higher on him than other people. But to be honest with you, what's your plans with Hendon Hooker? Is he the backup? Are you going to keep him around? I mean, because he's not going to be your starter in the next 2 or 3 years. And by the way, you're right, Funk. No Hutch. What do you do? What do you do when Aiden Hutchinson's contract comes up?
That is true. I didn't think about that too. Yeah.
Funk says, Funk says, I don't care what any adult does with themselves. No, I don't. I felt bad for even bringing that up. It's just that I was shocked that so many people are calling for Butker to get fired because he spoke pro-traditional values in America. And I think that's a shame that you can't say things like that anymore without somebody trying to get you fired. So they shouldn't cut him, but keep people like Alvin Kamara.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Well, if you don't remember Alvin Kamara, and by the way, it's so much worse because the guy that he got in a fight with, like his left eye, I think it was his left eye was like swollen out to here. It was
yeah.
You saw
that was
it.
Crazy.
Yeah, it was. It was nuts. At Funk Golf paid market value 69.6. I be honest, I think it's above market value, but Funk, I said this so many times, and I keep getting proven wrong. What'd I say? You have to pay Amon-Ra or you have to pay Penei Sewell. You can't pay them both. And what do? They pay them both at the same time. Then I double down and I say, well, you can't pay Golf. Then they pay Golf. But
yeah,
I mean, what do you do now when Aiden Hutchinson's contract comes up? So, yeah, Kelly Stafford said things. Trump 2024. I'm not going to speak for Keaton. I'm a huge Trump supporter. I just care that you get out there and vote, and I don't care who you vote for. I'm going to vote for Trump. I'm a Trump supporter. By the way, yeah, if you're a Biden supporter, you're welcome to come on the channel at any time, and we talk football. Trump supporters, Biden supporters, I don't care. But yeah, I'm a Trump supporter. Is the deal front loaded? Yes. I don't think it's going to. This is going to be a fun. The Dak contract's going to be a fun one because the only way he's going to really get his contract is if they win a Super Bowl. And that's going to be a big one. And then what's Dallas going to do? It's going to be a great year, and we have a great schedule. That I'm 15 minutes in the show and I haven't even put it up yet. Keaton's like going, Dan, put up the damn schedule and shut up. Let's do that. Let's bring out the schedule here because it's a fantastic schedule. Look up the deal. It's really nice this year, and then it takes a bad turn as cap numbers get out of control. People don't realize how. Yeah, no, I agree, Funk. I was really shocked that they gave him that much money, but he's got to produce now. The pressure's on. And then I brings up a great story. I don't care about Dak. And by the way, Dak really doesn't have anything to do with it. It's just the only reason we were talking about it because his contract is up at the end of the year, and he's going to ask for a lot of money. So Dak's agent cares about how much Goff makes. I can guarantee you that. Yeah. If I understand it right, it's a 4-year, $212 million deal. So it's see if I can do math right. It's 50.3. Did I do it right? 4 divided by 212, is that 50.3? I think that's
around there.
Yeah, it's
around there. Yeah.
Yeah. The cap goes up every year. Yeah, it does. Yeah. I was hoping Holmes would wait until what we see we have in Hooker. Holmes got no patience. He trades for reach project injury players. I was not a fan of what he did in the draft after round 2. I liked 1 and 2, and then he traded up for some project players. I wasn't really happy with that. And by the way, one pride, I 100% agree. 100% agree. There's going to be a lot of good quarterbacks in this year's draft, and we're going to talk a lot of college football this year. I think the number 1 player in the draft is going to be Shadir Sanders, Deion's kid. I think he's going to be the number 1 pick in the draft, and his teammate Travis Henry might go number 2. There's going to be some good quarterbacks coming out this year. All the streaming deals are locked until 2030. The cap isn't going to go up like it did this year. This year went up because streaming deals between Hutch, Sewell, and Saint, and you're looking at over 150. Listen, pressure's on Detroit now. You're in a whole different mindset because for years it was you could play the underdog. You know, you could take chances. You're just trying to get wins. Now you're the favorite, and it's a different story. It's going to be fun. It's going to be fun. We're going to talk about it here.
Finally, the division's going to be fun too.
Oh God, let's talk about the schedule. Keaton, even though you're wearing all Patriot stuff, I know you're a huge Chiefs fan. The schedule kicks off Baltimore at Kansas City. I want to get your thoughts on it. I mean,
this is something. I mean, like I said, your guys are the 2-time reigning defending Super Bowl champions. So like to get tested this early, it's gonna be fun to see what the Chiefs, how they come out, with the Super Bowl hang. I mean, I know the Super Bowl hangover is a thing, so we'll see how rusty they come out, or how strong they come out. Baltimore, obviously. I mean, if you look at the AFC North this year, the Ravens, the Steelers, and I believe the Browns have like all their strength of schedules all in the top 3.
Yeah.
So like, it's going to be important. I think that starting off good early by winning is going to be important for these teams, in my opinion.
I think the NFL. I just say this over and over again because we're slightly different age brackets. I remember a time when the NFL didn't put the division games at the end of the schedule. So I think that I just love what the NFL did with their schedule. I really couldn't think of a better game here. I thought last year when it was Kansas City and Detroit, I thought it was a great storyline. AFC, NFC team, Super Bowl champs, an up-and-coming team. Baltimore beat San Francisco in San Francisco on Monday night. I think it was week 14. I could be wrong about that. It was late in the year, and they just crushed them.
Yeah.
You remember? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think and by the way, Chiefs fans hate me for saying this, but this is the truth. I'm sorry, Chiefs fans, but this is really the truth. Kansas City didn't win the AFC Championship game as much as Baltimore lost it. Their strength was running the ball. They decided to become a pass-happy team. Zay Flowers really sunk the game by that taunting penalty, and then the fumble, and then throwing the temper tantrum
at the goal line. Yeah.
Yeah, and then he threw the temper tantrum, cut his hand, and couldn't play for about a quarter because he had to get his hand taped up. Yeah. I mean, he behaves like an adult. He doesn't have that penalty. He doesn't have that fumble. They score a touchdown, instead of getting a turnover, they probably win that game. I really think Baltimore just shot themselves in the foot. And I also think part of it is the Mahomes factor. You go against Mahomes like, hey, look, we got to press. But
yeah.
There was a quarterback in New England. I can't remember his name that teams are really afraid of. I can't think. He was number 12. I can't think of his name. But
TB 12, Tom Brady.
What a great game to start the season off at Arrowhead. Line's 2.5. By the way, there is a very good chance I'm going to take Kansas City into 2.5 for this game. There's a very good chance I'm going to do that. But let's get away from Kansas City here, and because people are sick of me talking about the Chiefs. What about Friday? This is a great. I just
Friday.
I love this. NFL saying, you know what? Let's kick this game off with Thursday. How about some Friday night fun? What a great game. Green Bay at Philly. Friday night football in the NFL. Keaton, are you a fan? I want to know what you think here.
I mean, it's definitely a change up. I mean, I think Friday, like I said, starts the weekend off. You get to watch football, and then, people, whether if you work on the weekends or not, then, I mean, you get to, sleep in if you don't work after that, but if you're a fan of one of these teams. But, I think this is a big, like I said, week one has a lot of great matchups. Like Green Bay's coming off of a, divisional loss to the 49ers, a game that they probably should have won. They made a couple more plays in that game. And then you have a Eagles team that obviously started off hot, but their defense really came down to earth towards the end of last year. Now, I love what they did in the draft by getting, DeJean and Quinion Mitchell for that defense. I think that's going to make the defense significantly better. So, I mean, this game's in Philadelphia, but like I said, I think this is going to be, in my opinion, I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I mean, you got two phenomenal quarterbacks, and Jordan Love and Jalen Hurts. So we'll see how, they do offensively, but I'm excited for this game. For sure.
I am too. I think the NFL just, by the way, I'm not paid by the NFL, but I just think that they just hit it out of the park with a great job with doing Friday night football, Green Bay and Philly. I just think the NFL just knocked out of the park. I think this is going to be a huge success because I'm very much against Thursday night football. I wish it was
same.
Yeah, I don't like it, but
it was terrible.
Starting the season with a Friday night game is I think just the genius thing that the NFL did. Perry says, this is why I don't understand what Holmes did in the draft. We are in a win now or get player to help. Yeah, I agree, Perry, because Terrion Arnold was a free safety, switched to corner, all potential in the world. Great job in round one. Round two, Enos Rakestraw, corner. I loved out of Missouri. I found out that he ran a bad 40 time because he was still suffering from his groin injury. Watch him play. He's a first round corner. You could have taken him at 29 and you would have been good. Then after that, you get the player from Canada who plays right tackle. Well, you signed your right tackle at $112 million. The running back / safety who you guys are telling me is going to be a running. And then you traded 3rd and 4th round picks for 2025 for project players. I didn't get that either. Terrion Arnold, by the way, a great pickup in round one, but later in the draft.
I love it.
Yeah, why didn't you get a receiver? Roman Wilson? That would have been a great pick in round 3 instead. You could have got somebody like that. You could have got an edge rusher. I didn't get that at all. So, but yeah, Terrion Arnold, big fan of his. Void year still. Oh my, this is all, but look at this. We have the B in the Back Talk brothers, the great one, the talent, Gooch. Gooch, I am not familiar with this story. Why is my possible starting left tackle getting arrested for misdemeanor weed possession? I am not familiar with this story. This is terrible. So for those of you that don't know, marijuana is actually legal in Missouri. It's not in Kansas. It's actually funny. There's it's called State Line Road. The weed shop, you could walk from Kansas to the marijuana shop, and I can't tell you the whole story, but Cardarius Toney spends $3,000 every couple weeks at that weed shop at State Line.
Is he right? I did not know that.
Yeah, I didn't tell you that.
I didn't know that.
I'll tell you more details off. But anyway, a buddy of mine, I can't give out the details, but there's a weed shop. It's right off the state line. So you could, if you're in Kansas where marijuana is not legal, you could actually walk to this location. It's about a half mile away. Cardarius Toney spends several thousand. It's like $3,000. There's a 21-day limit or 20-day limit or something like that. And Cardarius Toney buys, and I'm like, no wonder he's dropping all these damn passes. Guy's high as fuck.
I was just about to say that too. I was like, that's probably wonder why he dropped so many passes. Doesn't think straight.
Yeah. So, but yeah, Gooch, I am not familiar with that story. Gooch, you have all my information. Send me the details, because all I've been doing is I've been looking at Harrison Butker hate comments for the last hour, but no void here, but he's very. Yeah, I'm kind of interested how they're going to handle the left tackle situation, but I like it first. Yeah, I agree. By the way, Rakestraw is a really, really good player. You're really going to like him. So
yeah,
just by so what it is that it's a place called Overland Park, Kansas, where I used to live, and a lot of Chiefs players live in Overland Park, Kansas, and then they just cross over state line, and that's what most people do. But it's actually cheaper to live on the Missouri side than the Kansas side. So out here in Vegas, it's been legal for like 15 years. Some of my neighbors are outside with this bong, and it's just I'm still not used to it. I mean, they're nice, they're super nice people, but it's like, hey, what's up? And they're taking bong hits. So I'm like, what the? Oh wait, it's legal here. So I still haven't gotten used to it. Let's go over Sunday's games. There's some real good ones here. I like the fact that there's some divisional games early. You got Houston and Indianapolis. Oh, I lit up everything, but Houston and Indianapolis. This is going to be a huge game early on. Not a divisional game, but Jacksonville and Miami. That's a big one. Carolina and the Saints, another divisional game. Minnesota at New York, low key. By the way, are you aware that the New York Giants are going to be the Hard Knocks team this year?
I saw that. That's I don't know how they're going to take that.
All right.
I mean, they're gonna have to perform, like, if you're on Hard Knocks, because I've heard some teams that been on Hard Knocks have not performed well. So we'll see.
The kid from Canada was working on both sides in the rookie camp. Yeah, Funk, let me know, because I know he looks like an NFL right tackle. And is marijuana legal in all of Canada? So in the States, it's just different states. But Keaton, hopefully you don't mind if I rat you out here. You're in Ohio, correct?
Yeah.
It's not legal there, right?
No, it's not.
Okay. So I lived on the Kansas-Missouri border. I was on the Kansas side. It's illegal in Kansas. It last year became legal in Missouri, and it just like skyrocketed. It's just taken off. In Vegas, where I'm at now, it's been legal, I think, for like I think Nevada's one of the first states. But it's still weird, because like I walk past this area, and there's like, it's a bunch of patios, and one of them are always outside, super nice, awesome people. I love my neighbors, don't get me wrong. But I see them taking bong hits, and I'm like, it still hasn't registered. Maybe you're used to that, but it's just weird here. Yeah.
Right.
Which one's Mahogany? Is he the safety? No, he's not the safety running back pick. I'm not sure which one Mahogany is. I think he's 6th round pick. We got Vegas and LA, another divisional game. This is a good one, because John Harbaugh has a chance to come out 1-0. Also an excellent opportunity for the Raiders. Vegas, for those of you who don't know, Vegas and LA, it's like a 2-hour drive, not even that. But so
wow.
it's going to be the Boston College guard. I forgot about him. He's a guy I actually really like. There's a low key chance. Was it DeCostra, the guard you got from Baltimore? He's 34. There's a chance that he'll take over from sometime this year. I actually really like that kid. But the tackle I didn't like. The running back safety pick, ESPN called him a safety. You guys say he's going to be a running back. I would have been happier for receiver edge rusher, but that's just me. Dallas at Cleveland is another game. Like
Tom Brady's calling that game.
who is
Tom Brady.
God,
First, yeah.
God, that's going to be. This is going to be a really, really good game because if Dallas starts off 0-1, the sky will fall. Cleveland's in that brutal division. Now, keep in mind, me and Keaton both want Kansas City to win. Everybody wants Kansas City to win. If Cleveland starts off 1-0 after defeating Dallas, that's a lot of pressure on Baltimore and Lamar Jackson. So, I mean, by the way, this game, Pittsburgh at Atlanta, I think a low-key fun game.
That's going to be a good game.
Yeah. But look at football. Look at this game, Sunday night football. Rams, Detroit? Are you serious, NFL? Are you serious? In Detroit, a playoff matchup? Stafford comes back again. Goff with getting a $1 zillion contract. What a great – this is just – I can't – I'm not – by the way, I got a lot of Lions fans here, but I'm not going to pander. I'm not a Lions fan. But what a great game. What a great
That's phenomenal.
Sunday night. I mean, after the Chiefs play and win, hopefully, and, you know, everybody's weekend's going to be ruined if the Chiefs lose to the Ravens. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it's going to be a good game.
Yeah. Lions and Rams Sunday night. Are you kidding me? Wow.
Whew.
Oh, man.
It's going to be crazy to see what they can do without Aaron Donald since he retired. I'm seeing what their defense can do.
Yeah, I mean, I love what they did in the draft, getting the pair of Florida State guys and
great pickups.
Perry says it's legal everywhere in Canada. I didn't know that, and they're trying to do something similar here in the United States. But no, I didn't know it was legal everywhere there. And by the way, like I know it's expensive, but I mean, I used to like long time ago when it was illegal everywhere, but I haven't done it in years. So, but anyway, I didn't know that. By the way, that's why you have free healthcare in Canada, because you sell marijuana. So Stafford proved to me he's not about winning. He's about looking good and getting. Hey, you're gonna see it week 1. What a great game. Because if the Lions start off 0-1 at home, oh, God, what's going to happen to that fan base? No offense, Lions fans, for those of you who are watching, you're going to see a lot of hate from Lions fans if they start off 0-1, especially after those 3 big deals that they did this offseason. And then look at this for Monday night, Keaton. Jets at 49ers. What a big game. Aaron Rodgers goes back to California. Did you hear the story about Aaron Rodgers? He was convinced he was going to be the number 1 pick in the draft. He was convinced that he was going to play for his hometown 49ers team. And they took Alex Smith instead. He still holds a grudge. Did you know that he still holds a grudge about that?
Yeah, I mean, he should have been the 49er realistically. Now they're probably looking back at that and they probably regret not picking them in the draft. So, I mean, this is going to be a good game too, because the Jets, obviously, look at the offseason they've had in the draft. I mean, they've been getting a lot of hype throughout this offseason. So they better come out and perform, because they have no excuses. I mean, look, like I said, on paper, they look good and they probably should win the division. But like I said, they are the Jets, so you never know what can happen. So we'll see.
You do. That's the whole thing. You never know. And I'm so glad you said that, because on paper, they look unstoppable. Right now, the Jets are my favorite to win the Super Bowl, because they have that defense from hell. I have a huge man crush on Breece Hall. I love Breece Hall. I think if I was going to do top 10 running backs in the NFL, I don't know where I would put Breece Hall at, but he's top 10. Maybe top 5, maybe. I don't know, but the offensive line is upgraded, and Rodgers doesn't have to be that Aaron Rodgers throwing 48 touchdowns, 4 interceptions. No. He just has to be pretty good. That's it.
Yeah, even average, like just be better than what you were last year through 4 plays. So,
I mean, look what they had last year, and then late in the year there was a push. But what a great matchup at San Francisco week 1.
It's gonna be a good matchup.
Oh, God, what a great matchup here.
Great.
This I can't emphasize this enough. I just love what the NFL did with the schedule this year. Let's go to week 2 here. Week 2, by the way. Okay, so we start off the season Thursday night football, which I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of Thursday night football. But what do we get week 1? We get Ravens traveling to Arrowhead. Week 2, Buffalo at Miami.
Mm-hmm.
Are you serious? I don't like Thursday night football, but I can't wait to watch this game.
I think this is going to be a great game. Like I said, you look at the past couple of years with Thursday night football, it's been like terrible matchups, but they're getting it right. I think they're realizing they're trying to put better teams on Thursday night football. So like this is a huge AFC East matchup. When you look at the Buffalo Bills, I'm gonna start with them for a second. Like losing Stephon Diggs, losing Gabe Davis, and losing Poyer and Micah Hyde for that defense. So I think this is going to be a big year for Josh Allen, in terms of how he's being productive throughout the season. Is he going to be more turnover prone? He is prone to turn the ball over here and there. Mm-hmm. So I do like the pickup of what's his name from Florida State, Keon Coleman. Like his personality, I'm not saying he's Stephon Diggs, but like I said, his personality and style definitely fits on what the Bills want to do. So, but I'm a bit old school. Like I think until someone beats Buffalo, I say you can't write off Josh Allen. As long as Josh Allen is still there at quarterback, they're always in the mix for to win that division. So in Miami, I'm curious to see how they come out too after blowing that division. I mean, they were literally had that division until the last week of the season.
I mean, you're right. You're 100% correct. Miami is playing at home, the final game of the season. They win. They get to host a playoff game in Miami. They lose. Yeah. They go to Kansas City where it's negative 400 degrees. I mean, and you can't get it done. Big game early in the season. Kudos to the NFL. Kudos to the NFL for like Thursday night, Baltimore, Kansas City. Let's say you're not a Chiefs fan. You want to watch this game. I'm not a Bills fan. Keaton is a Patriots fan. He's by the way, the flag in the background is just fucking fire.
Oh yeah, it's a throwback flag in the jersey, man. It's the best out of all the jerseys we have.
That's really fucking sweet, man. That's really fucking sweet.
Yeah. Appreciate it.
What a great job by the NFL. Back-to-back great Thursday night games that you want to sign up for. So, by the way, these comments are great comments because I want to talk about this game. So, you know what Detroit did in the playoffs, Keaton? Detroit beat the Rams. So, the NFL schedules a rematch week 1. The second game, Detroit beat Tampa Bay. And what do they do week 2? Tampa Bay at Detroit. Welcome, Lions. So here's the deal. Holmes better hope that doesn't happen. Trust me, the fan base will turn bad in Holmes. Holmes crap on the Detroit media. They're waiting for him with knives out there to carve him up if things go south. Highly doubt they go south. Listen to this, though. Look at your two opponents early on. The Rams, who you beat in the playoff barely. No disrespect, Detroit. That was a close game. Tampa Bay gave you a fight for 3 quarters. And, back-to-back games for the Lions against both playoff victors. Those two, by the way, Lions kept on talking about revenge games last year. These are revenge games. I don't believe it.
And that's the thing, too. Like the Rams are going to come in. Like, they feel like they should have won that game. And if they were able to find a way to get in the red zone, they probably would have won that game last year.
All they had to do was if they stop the Lions and they get the ball back, I think they would have won that game, but they couldn't do it. Give a lot of credit to the Lions. Yeah,
Stafford had a pretty good game too. They just couldn't figure out the red zone. So
no,
it should be a phenomenal game though. Looking forward to that.
By the way, give Tampa Bay some credit. I kind of like what they've done low key this season. They improved the offensive line. They kept Baker Mayfield. They re-signed Mike Evans. People didn't think they were going to do that. Tampa Bay is a team that I don't think anybody's talking about because in their own division, the Falcons made more news. The other AFC divisional winners, you got the 49ers, the Lions, and the Cowboys, bigger off seasons, but yeah, Tampa Bay is a team people are kind of sleeping on.
Yeah, like I mean, they won the division last year, and I think, like I said, the Falcons did get better, but like you have to realize Kirk Cousins is coming back from an Achilles injury. We don't know how he's going to start off the season. And
You got a new
you get the
coaching.
Michael Penix situation too. So like, is he going to see the field throughout the season? And Kirk Cousins somehow doesn't perform. I mean, you just never know. We'll see.
Hey, you know, when you're what's Cousins 36,
36, I think, 37, I think.
coming off a major injury.
Yeah, that's nobody's talking about that.
Nobody's talking about that. I mean,
Yeah.
this is a low key fun game. I don't think people are really looking at Detroit and looking at their schedule. By the way, back to back home games. Here's the deal: the Lions have to win both of these games. They really do. The home games against playoff teams from last year. That's a tough thing to do. I hope we don't, but if we get in, you could be in trouble. These are tough opponents, Lions fans. These are tough opponents. Funk, man, I gotta start getting that "you're on fire" icon. Like, Keaton probably doesn't know what I'm talking about, but there's this game called NBA Jam. Like, after you hit 3 shots, the computer would say "you're on fire" and like who can the fire. It was fucking sweet, but it was made like 5 years before you were born. And yeah, Funk, you're on fire right now. Both games the Lions won in the playoff, could have gone the other way, but most Lions fans won them. Absolutely. Most Chiefs fans won't admit it. Baltimore lost the AFC Championship game. The Chiefs really didn't win it. That's the fact. Chiefs fans are going to look the other way. Chiefs fans did beat the Niners, but I also think that if Baltimore went to the Super Bowl, Baltimore would have won that game. That's why I love the Week 1 matchup. But I mean, Lions, Rams, and Bucks weeks 1 and 2 coming to Detroit. You got
to start off, and it's important to start off strong, so that way you're not playing catch up. Like, especially like that division, the Packers got. I mean, they're coming. They're gonna be highly motivated, and then you got the Bears. I mean, I know they're improving, but I mean they got better this offseason, so
absolutely
they had some competition. Yeah.
I mean, yeah, exactly. What a great job there. I mean, Thursday night, Buffalo at Miami. What a great job. Some of these other games, though, Indianapolis at Green Bay. Hopefully, Anthony Richardson. I can't wait to see that. We got New York at Washington. Division rivalries, division rivals here. That's going to be a fun one. Cleveland at Jacksonville, low key.
Ooh,
Excuse me, a little fun. Yeah, this could be a really fun. There could be, even though it's week 2, there could be playoff implications on the line. It could be battles for positioning if either one of these teams don't win the division. And both these teams are not favored to win the division, but both these teams need to make the playoffs. Look at this game. Cincinnati at Kansas City. Oh, by the way, Cincinnati has been able to beat the Chiefs at Arrowhead.
That's true. That's gonna be good. I mean, I'm telling you that they're getting the Chiefs some tests early. So, like I said, I mean, Joe Burrow's coming back from injury, so we'll see how he does. Like, I'm curious to see if the Bengals can win that division this year. I mean, they're, like I said, in a tough division in the North. So,
I mean, this is a big game. Look at Kansas City. I mean, I talked about the Lions needing to win those games. The Chiefs finished the year 3 out of their 4 last games of the season are on the road. So getting two home games early, they really got to win both these games. I mean, these are tough games, though. Cincinnati's no joke. Perry coming out on fire as well at Dan and Keaton. What is your big story for each of your teams this year? Which playoff team has the most questions going into the season? Well, I want to start here. The big story with the Chiefs, trying to three-peat. Nobody's ever done it before. The last team to try to three-peat was the New England Patriots. I went back. It was, I think, 2003, 2004. They won the wild card game in 2005. Then they lost in the division round. But the thing is, with New England, they lost Charlie Weiss. He took over as a head coach of Notre Dame. Romeo Crennel, I believe, became head coach in Houston, or was it Cleveland? I think it was Cleveland. So they lost both coordinators, but they just weren't the same team that third season. San Francisco won Super Bowl 23 and 24, if I remember right. It was 88 and 89. they had the best chance to three-peat, but they lost on the last play of the game to the Giants, who won Super Bowl 25. So
right.
that team had the best chance to three-peat. Can the Chiefs three-peat? Because anything less than a Super Bowl is going to be disappointing. I'm here to tell you they're not going to do it, but I'm going to be cheering for them. I don't think that Chiefs are going to be the first team. And, you know, by the way, I didn't know this until Gooch put it up there. There's a battle at left tackle between Wanda Morris, a second-year player. He was a fourth-round pick last year, and our second-round pick. So we got two young guys protecting the backside of the most important player in the NFL. Gave Chris Jones a Brinks truck full of money. I mean, yeah. Keaton, what's the big story for the New England Patriots this year? I think I know what you're going to say, but
yeah, two things I got to say. I'm going to start with obviously, the quarterbacks. Like, we're starting the season off with Brissett at quarterback. People are asking all Patriots fans are asking, like, will Drake May see the field which week? I mean, because like if you look at our schedule, I put out a video yesterday, so you guys need to go watch that. I think it's a great video. But our bye week is super late this year. It's in week 14. Like really? I didn't realize bye weeks can go that late in the season. Like it's literally like in December, like last week of November going to December. So
yeah, the Chiefs are week 6, and I would trade places with you easily.
Exactly, yeah. And like so like depending on how our season, like how we start off the year, if we're not doing as well as I think we can do well, but if it ends up going the opposite way, like what is Drake May going to see the field this season, which I think he was just a matter of which, like I said, it just depends on how we start off the year. I think it's important. Like our first 4 games are against really good teams. So hopefully we can split those first 4 games and we'll go from there. But I think another story is like, if you look at the Patriots last year, as bad as our offense has been, like our defense was still 8th best defense in football. Now it's without Judon and Gonzalez, our 2 best defensive players. So now we're getting those guys back from injury. Like our defense, I think we should be a top 5 defense easily, if I'm being completely honest. Like if you looked at most of our games last year, like 8 of our games were decided by like 6 points.
How many games did Ramondre Stevenson play?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, if we were able to just figure out the offense, and if Mac Jones wasn't in his head a lot, obviously, a lot of that had to do with Bill Belichick not putting pieces around him. But like, if we were able to figure out the offense, we probably win 7, maybe 8 games last year. A lot of those games were. It's not like we got blown out outside of the Dallas game, but I think people are really sleeping on. I'm not saying Patriots are going to make the playoffs, but I do expect improvement, hopefully, and hopefully we get off to a good start. Hopefully some of those teams like the Jets and maybe Buffalo start the season off slow, so we'll see.
So you heard it here from Keaton Talks Sports. Put your life savings on Patriots making the playoffs this year. Call it now. Keaton, so what playoff team has the most questions going into the season? That's another one.
Oh, it's easily the Dallas Cowboys.
Yeah.
Let's be honest. Like, if you watch that game last year in that playoff game, and look at the last few seasons, Dallas has won like 12 games and got knocked out of the first round. So like, that's why I said
they got knocked out first round last year, but they beat Tampa Bay in the first round 2 years ago.
Oh, 2 years ago. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about that. True. Yeah. But just regardless, like the Dallas team
play against San Francisco, the last play of the game, remember that it was just the center. Zeke Elliott played center, hiking at the ball, and they had the offensive line split out. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do remember that. I don't remember which year that was, but I do remember that last play. Yeah.
That was 2 years ago.
2 years. Okay.
Funny, I said after that game, I said somebody's going to lose their job over this, and it was the offensive coordinator. He was fired. And
I do remember that. That's funny. Yep. 2 years ago. But yeah, like I said, easily the Dallas Cowboys. Like you go in that game last year against Green Bay. Like I didn't expect Green Bay to go in there and put the beat down on them the way they did. Like Dallas needs to they got to do something this year because they didn't do anything this offseason. And there's a chance they may not even win 12 games this year. Like I think they're going to be worse than what they were last year.
No, I think
the Commanders are a sleeper. Like I think obviously the Eagles got significantly better. I think the Commanders even though they have a rookie quarterback. I mean, there's potential there, and their defense is legit. So, like, I don't think it's Dallas's division anymore, in my opinion. I think they got worse. So,
they gotta do something. Another thing is that the Giants are not only going to be on Hard Knocks. I got to go to this real fast. Normally, I give people show prep, so I didn't prep this for Keaton, so you're going to get Keaton's total surprise here. Keaton, I got to ask you, what about these uniforms? Have you seen the Giants?
No. That's ugly. Nah, those are the Giants uniforms?
Yeah, so the Giants are going
terrible.
New uniforms. Let's put these back up here because I normally give my guests a warning, and I didn't do that here. But here are the Giants uniforms.
Those are ugly. No.
Are you looking at this Michigan type helmet?
Yeah, I was about to say the Michigan, the New York Wolverines. Like, what is this?
So, by the way, this has nothing to do with the fact that Keaton is an Ohio State fan, but no, those are hideous. By the way, come on, Giants, you're going to be a Hard Knocks, and you roll out that type of bullshit. I mean, come on.
Those are like their actual uniforms, home uniforms.
Those are the Giants uniforms this year. So normally I give my guests some show prep. So Giants unveil Century Red uniform to commemorate 100th season, and this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen in my life.
That's terrible. Like,
I'm gonna say this: I like the socks. If those socks were on the regular Giants uniforms, I could deal with that. I like the socks only. I like the red, white, and blue. But like, what was it like? Vomit, beige, and what the fuck is this? It's yeah.
Yeah, that's terrible. That's
I apologize for throwing that out to you, Keaton.
Normally, thank you for that.
Normally I give my guests some hey, look, I'm going to ask you these questions. I just threw that out there, Keaton, so I apologize for that. But
no, you're good.
Those are terrible though. I mean, what the fuck are the Giants doing? I mean, come on,
something better than that. Yeah.
It's New York. Come on. Is New York like one of the fashion capitals of the world, and then you come out with that type of bullshit? I mean,
that's not impressed by that at all.
No. So Keaton's going to wear one of those jerseys this year.
I'll stick my red jersey. I'm good.
So Perry says, teams are going to be gunning for you this year. It's a different thing when you're having teams gun for you. Trust me on that. My biggest concern with me is the Lions' O-line depth. Can the players deal with the pressure to win, stay hungry, play hard? It's human nature to want to be the underdog. It's human nature. There's still so many Chiefs fans that are doing the underdog thing. Nobody wants us to win. It's like, really? Like, no, I think everybody wants us to win. So
I have a question for Perry. Who do you think in your division can overtake the Lions? I'm not saying the Lions are miss the playoffs. I think they'll make the playoffs, but like, who do you fear most in your division between the Bears and the Packers, and then obviously the Vikings, who have, I mean, they're the rebuild, but they still have their wide receiver crew.
I mean, that's a great question, Perry. That's a great question for Perry. For Philly, Philly has a new offensive coordinator and a new defensive coordinator, and I have a huge man crush on Vic Fangio. You give him some tools with Quinion Mitchell and DeJohn Cooper, and it's going to be fun. Oh, look at this, man! We got Denver Gator in the house.
What's up, Denver? What's going on? What's going on?
We're going over the schedule here, man. Denver Gator. We talked about your Chiefs a little bit. I love old school stuff, but the Giants. That's just terrible, man. That is just terrible. Oh, God, Denver Gator comes out just throwing smoke here. Giants throwbacks look like a prototype for the USFL that got rejected.
I mean, you ain't lying. Those are some of the ugliest uniforms.
Those are terrible. I saw that, and I was like, it was funny when I first watched it. It was on my phone. I was looking from the bottom up, and I was like, oh, the socks are cool. And I saw the pants. I'm like, what the fuck? And I was like, and I'm like, is that the Michigan logo?
Literally.
It's terrible. It's terrible because I remember they had the Giants on the side. They changed that in the 80s, and then they went to NY, the old school NY, and I thought that was really cool.
Yeah, those are better. Yeah.
Yeah, and then I saw the Michigan thing here. By the way, Keaton's hate has nothing to do with him being an Ohio State fan. By the way, Denver Gator, Keaton said that Ohio State could beat the Denver Broncos 63-10. Easy. Just so something you know. By the way, Denver Gators helped me out this year, and we're going to talk a lot more college football this year. Denver Gators going to be part of that.
That's going to be fun.
It's going to be a lot of fun. So Perry answers the Packers are a solid team. Yeah, the Packers, I can't wait. By the way, the Packers got some really good games early on. You go at Philly, and then week 2, who do they got week 2 here?
They had the fourth hardest schedule in all football too. They have a hard schedule.
Yeah, I mean, I just think the NFL, and again, I'm not employed by the NFL at all, but like, what a great job they've done on the schedule. And go to week 3 because I'm not a fan of Thursday night. So first one we get is Kansas City and Baltimore. Then we get Buffalo and Miami. And look at week 3, Keaton. Your Patriots at the New York Jets. What a great game! Listen. The Jets are here's why this is a great game. The Jets have to win this game. The Jets have to win this game. You don't know what you're getting from the Patriots.
That's what I'm saying, and that's why as a Patriots fan, that's why I'm excited because like no one's expecting us to go in there and win. I mean, this is the Jets home opener, so like no one's expecting what the Patriots are going to do. We have a brand new coaching staff, new quarterback, I mean everything, and top 5 defense. I'm like, we don't know what to expect, and we'll see how. You just never know. It's a divisional game. I think the Jets got us worse. Yeah,
you never know. And by the way, just real fast here, the New England Patriots schedule at Cincinnati is going to be a tough one. However, the one thing about the New England Patriots, or I'm sorry, about the Cincinnati Bengals, the last 2 years they've started off 0-2. The last 2 years they started off 0-2. Seriously, don't be surprised New England surprises and wins week 1 at home against Seattle. That's definitely a game they could win. There's an off chance New England could be 2-0 and the Jets may be 1-1 or 2-0. This is a great divisional game, great rivalry early in the year. I think it's awesome. I agree. Awesome. So I hate Thursday night football. 3 straight great Thursday night football games that I have to watch.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I mean, what a great job by the NFL. There's also some really good games here in throughout here. I think it's a low key game, but Houston at Minnesota, kind of a low key game. Not a lot of people are going to look at. This is the key game. Baltimore at Dallas. What a big game. Baltimore probably losing week 1 to my Chiefs. I mean, everybody wants the Chiefs to win week 1. Even Lions fans are mad that the Lions won week 1. I'm still bitter about that, by the way. But
Washington at Cincinnati, I see at the bottom of the screen.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that here in a second. But
as far as that Ravens game isn't a night game.
I know. And this is another great game, San Francisco at LA.
Ooh, that's going to be a divisional game.
Yeah.
Those 2 teams match up well with each other. They always seem to split every year.
This could be a low-key fun game for Sunday night, Kansas City at Atlanta.
Ooh. Dome. That's going to be a lot of points put up in that game.
Could be
in
fun.
A dome. Yeah.
And then here you go. You got 2 Monday night games. Jacksonville at Buffalo, I think, could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I agree.
And then this game, the only thing I can say about this game, if you're an LSU fan, you have your 2 Heisman Trophy quarterbacks playing each other,
true.
Yeah, so if you're an LSU fan, you're going to pay attention to this. Everybody else is watching Jacksonville and Buffalo. There's not going to be these 2 games. It's like, why do you have the good one here, and then I'm going to call this the LSU Bowl. So I know Denver Gator is going to be excited about his LSU Tiger quarterbacks, but if you're not an LSU fan or a Washington fan or a Bengals fan, but Jacksonville at Buffalo, that's a fun game. It's early in the season. this has playoff ramifications because if
Big.
Buffalo gets down early, I mean, seriously, when if the Patriots pull an upset here, Buffalo may be thinking they could run away with this division. Jacksonville is a team everybody's kind of sleeping on in the AFC South, but I mean, they were 7-3 at one time last year.
Yeah, easiest schedule in the league, and they still finished with 8 wins. So see how they bounce back this year.
Denver Gator says, I'm pretty sure you could score more than 10. I don't know. Bo Nix leading that Broncos offense. Keaton says maybe 12 max. That's it. He's really. By the way, Denver Gators going to
People are saying
this year.
People are saying, I don't know what people are saying. People saying that they might be the worst team in football this year.
I mean, you heard it here. You heard it here, Denver Gator. Keaton says.
I'm saying people are saying that. I didn't say that. I'm just saying, like, I don't know who the worst team's going to be. I mean,
Keaton says Ohio State could score 73 on your Broncos. That's what Keaton said. By the way, he's ready to talk some trash on Ohio State. Loaded team this year. By the way, Denver Gators helping me out this year. We're going to talk some college football a lot this year. The Bears did improve. They're a tough team. When they did play us, the Vikings, I feel, is a mess because their GM is clueless. But their head coach is good. And if he's getting the Vikings players playing well, I'll be honest with you. I would have liked to seen Hard Knocks in Minnesota with what's going on there more than I would like to see in New York. The fun story is with New York is because I think Brian Dable is like on the scalding hot seat. It's
yeah, he's on the hot. Yeah, definitely.
Like
yeah,
what would be a word better than hot? Like scalding, boiling, flaming, whatever. Yeah. I mean, by the way, the NFC North is going to be a fun division.
It's going to be close.
America is still holding grudges against Germany since World War II. That's why the NFL
gave who a shit again?
Oh, we haven't hit base yet on the German game here. I think that's coming up here, but the NFL did not do Germany a favor here. But look at this. Week 4. Look what we got. Dallas at the Giants. Now I'm not sold on the Giants, but what a great game. Am I just too much of a football homer here, Keaton, or is this going to be a fun game?
I mean, look at last year when Dallas didn't they blow out the Giants? I think they blew them out badly up there last year.
Week 1 it was like 40-0.
40-0.
And that's why I think this year is going to be fun because let's do this here real fast here. Let's go to Dallas' schedule. Their first 3 games of the season. At Cleveland, home against Saints, home against Baltimore. Do you see the Cowboys going 3-0 here, Keaton?
3-0. So the Browns. The Browns?
It's at Cleveland. Home against the Saints, home against the Ravens. Are they going 3-0?
They might be 1-2. I'm being completely honest.
Exactly.
Like I said, Dallas got worse. I mean, I don't know. Like they got worse this offseason. I just don't know how they. I mean, they'll be in the mix, but like I don't think they're going to win 12 games. I just don't believe that.
No, and the Giants. To be honest with you, their number one hole was the wide receiver position. They got Neighbors, and a lot of people think Neighbors was the number one receiver in that class. I'm not one of those people, but I mean. If Neighbors plays like anything like he did at LSU, the Giants defense, I mean, get Brian Burns coming in.
True, yeah. The defense is going to be good.
I mean, this is going to be a fun game.
It's going to be a matter of what Daniel Jones, how he comes out, because can he give Malik Neighbors a ball consistently? That's going to be the question.
I mean, this is a big deal for for Daniel Jones, because if the Giants don't play well, they're going to bring in a new coach. And I guarantee a new coach is going to want to replace Daniel Jones.
Oh, yeah, for sure. Easily.
Yeah.
Start completely fresh.
Yeah. And by the way, Perry says the Bengals versus Washington could be an underrated game. The Bengals return to form. Washington may be the worst. Actually, out of all the teams that were in last place, I think the Bengals are the team that has the best chance to go from worst to first. But Washington definitely has a chance. How fast Jaden Daniels plays into an NFL system. That's going to be a big deal. I'm pulling for Jaden Daniels. He's so much fun to watch, but watch him play at LSU and how much of that translates into the NFL. Now, he's got a big advantage that he has Cliff Kingsbury, who was at USC last year. He's now going to be offensive coordinator. Yeah, it's going to help, but watch what Jaden Daniels did at LSU last year. And is he going to be able to do that stuff in the NFL? The answer is no. But it could be an underrated game. I think if you're an LSU Tiger fan, but look, Perry, I'm not disrespecting your comment. I'm definitely watching Jacksonville and Buffalo because that's going to be a key game because both those teams have to make the playoffs. Where Washington, they could go 7-10 and nobody's losing their job. You know, you got a rookie quarterback, you have new coaching staff, you have like 500 new players in Washington. Jacksonville doesn't make the playoffs. Somebody's going to lose their job. Maybe they want to go a new quarterback. Buffalo doesn't make the playoffs. They're probably going to clean house. So,
and they got Mac Jones at backup.
I mean, yeah, we may see Mac Jones play. You never know. The world lead of American football had big success in UK, Germany, and Spain. Denver Gators on fire, man. Zeke's breakout game, 12 carries, 39 yards, 2 receptions.
Gosh. And that's the thing, too. Like, Dallas brought him back. I mean, that doesn't move the needle. He's not the same player like he was 3-4 years ago.
Somebody, I forget who said this, but they said, here's the deal. If you have Zeke Elliott being your main bell cow running back, you're also going to need a DeLorean because you need to get him from 5 years ago. And I was like, that just makes sense. Like, that was just botched. Why didn't they draft a running back, Keaton? Why didn't they draft a running back?
I don't know. I'm surprised they didn't do. I'm surprised they didn't get a cornerback either after what happened in that playoff game last year.
I think they're just counting on all their corners to stay healthy. I don't know. I mean, I like what they did in the draft, but they really needed a running back. Man. Perry says, I have a feeling it's Drew Lock's job to lose. I think Jones is worse than Lock. I think Dable could make Lock. I'm going to tell you something. Me and Drew Lock went to the same high school, so I'm a huge Drew Lock fan. He was in a bad situation in Denver. He should have got an opportunity. When he got the opportunity when Flacco was benched and they put Drew Lock in, he led Denver to a 5-1 record. Then they bring in Bridgewater, and I said this. I said, you watch. If Bridgewater wins that starting job over Drew Lock, the whole coaching staff will be fired. The whole coaching staff was fired. How do I know this? Because I just said his name. He's in Vic Fangio. He started Bridgewater over Drew Lock. Fangio is now, he was in Miami. Now he's in Philly as the defensive coordinator. He starts Drew Lock. They probably go to the playoffs. Drew Lock, I think, just gotten a bad dig. I think Drew Lock should be a starter. By the way, Perry, I don't think he will start because I think the New York Giants are going to say, we're paying Daniel Jones $160 million. He's going to start. Drew Lock, you're going to be the backup because you make whatever it is. And by the way, if Daniel Jones goes down and Drew Lock starts playing well, Drew Lock could earn a lot of money this offseason. So we're going to pay attention. Zeke is done. I don't know. So here's the deal. You have Dalvin Cook. You have Kareem Hunt. There's one other running back who's unsigned. Drawing a blank on who it is. They're gonna. I really think Dallas is gonna sign somebody, but I really think that they're making a mistake here.
Desperation. Yeah.
Denver Gator says Daniels was electric last year, no doubt. RG3 was electric, also same dude. You're right. I'm gonna throw this out even further. As a pure prospect, RG3 was better than Jaden Daniels. I'm just telling you this right now. RG3, what he did at Baylor was more impressive than what Jaden Daniels did at LSU. Not by a huge margin, but go watch RG3 at Baylor his final year, and it was amazing. Andrew Luck was the better prospect and deserved to be number one. But you're right. I actually liked RG3 better, but
yeah.
By the way, Perry, I do think Dable's going to lose his job, and I'm going to make a video on that later on. But I think Dable will be gone, and somebody else will be the head coach in 2025.
I mean, how many games are they? I mean, realistically, are they going to win? Because that's going to come down to that too. Like, if he doesn't improve record wise, I mean, I don't. Yeah, I might see him.
Let me throw this out at you. Is there any way the Giants go 9-8 or 10-7, miss the playoffs, and Dable keeps his job?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think they're going to finish. I think they're going to be at the bottom again this year.
Yeah, I think they're going to be at the bottom again, and I think he has to make the playoffs to keep his job.
Yeah.
But I mean, we talked about this. There's some other really, really good games. Minnesota at Green Bay early. That's a fun one.
Ooh, fun, yeah. Ooh,
underrated game here. Philly at Tampa Bay. Remember Tampa Bay?
Oh yeah, rematch of the wild card. Yeah.
And then
Eagles are looking to get out that win.
Yeah, that's going to be a fun one. Look at this: Jacksonville at Houston early. What a great game! This could be for the South. This is a huge game. You also got Kansas City at the Chargers. Always a fun game. But look at Sunday Night Football: Buffalo at Baltimore.
Baltimore, yeah, that's gonna be a good game.
That's going to be a real good game. And look at these Monday night games. Tennessee at Miami doesn't move the needle too much for me. But look at this one: Seattle at Detroit. So
that's gonna be a good game too. I mean,
so for those of you who don't remember, Seattle's over the last they didn't. Yeah, they did. Okay, the last 2 years, Seattle's gone to Detroit and beaten the Lions in Detroit twice in the last 2 years. So
is
it going to be a threesome? Is it going to be a threesome? Keaton says Seattle's going to win this game 34-7.
Depends. We'll see. I mean, look at the Dolphins game. I don't know if you remember that game last year. Remember the Miami had like a big lead. Like they were up I think it was like 27-14 with 3 minutes left. Right. The Titans came back and won in overtime.
You're right. This was the Levis breakout game. And by the way,
Miami,
do not ever talk trash on Will Levis, the Denver Gator. Denver Gator now puts mayonnaise in his coffee because Will Levis does it. The most disgusting thing I've ever heard of in my life. How do you do that, Denver Gator? God, what a disgusting thing. So you know what? Look at this. Some of you are not going to like this, but I love it. Look at this. Tampa Bay at Atlanta. Week 5 Thursday. So we have Kansas City at Baltimore and 4 straight divisional games. This is going to be huge. Tampa Bay's won 3 straight NFC South titles. Atlanta, thanks to the big Cousins move and then the crazier Penix draft. This is a big game. I'm excited about this. This is a huge game. Keaton, are you as jacked up? Like, is this a good game or am I just
huge game?
Yeah.
I mean, I think it's going to come down to those 2 teams at the end of the year. So, like, getting those having these division games early is important when it comes in the year in terms of playoff positioning.
This game we're going to look at. I think we're going to look at this game and we're going to say, hey, this game might be the game to win the division. By the way, Denver Gator, I was going to bring this up. The Steelers have to start off fast because like their last 6-7 games are just brutal. There's no way.
No.
Have you seen their schedule, Keaton?
Yeah, they don't play a divisional game to week 11. Like all the division games start at week 11 to the end of the year.
Let's do this here. Let's just bring up the Steelers schedule here. Look at this schedule here.
Look at the last 6 games,
Baltimore. Look at this. Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Cleveland, at Philly, Baltimore, Kansas City. Are you fucking kidding me? On
Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day. Talk about a great Christmas. By the way, like Christmas was ruined for everybody last year when the Raiders beat the Chiefs. Even people in Vegas.
I forgot about that too. Yeah.
Yeah. So you don't think Kansas City's ready for this? But look at it. Seriously, they have the bye week 9. Washington, okay, they probably win that one. Look at Baltimore, Cleveland, Cincinnati, Cleveland again. this Cleveland game. By the way, look at this. You play
2 weeks after
Baltimore.
that?
Thursday, you play Cleveland. Then you get Cleveland at home. And then look at these road games at Philly, Baltimore, Kansas City again. I mean, yeah, look, the Steelers, by the way, have to like start the first 8 games. They got to win at least 5, bare minimum of 5.
They have to. I mean, see, I made this mistake last year. I thought the Steelers would win like 8, 9 games, and they end up making the play. Like, you just can never bet against the Steelers. Mike Tomlin's never had a losing record. Like, I could say the same thing this year, and they can still win 10 games. And I mean, is that going to be enough to make the playoffs this year? I mean, how low is that? I don't know.
I'll be honest with you. I think this is going to be Tomlin's first losing season because that after the bye, you're going after the bye, you're going to beat Washington. If Burrow's healthy, if Deshaun Watson's healthy, I see maybe 1 or 2 wins. I mean, it's hard to bet against Tomlin, but I'm not banking on the Steelers, winning 9 games this year. I'm just not. That schedule's just brutal.
Yeah. They did him dirty the last 6 games. That's crazy.
Yeah, the Falcons shagged themselves even a Penix development fast. By the time the Cousins contract's over, they have to sign Penix to a big contract. Yeah, I agree, Perry, because if they drafted Dallas Turner or Leatu Latu at pick number 8, your defense is solidified. By the way, Braylon Trice in the 3rd round, great pick, but you had a chance to host a playoff game this year, and by the way, it better work out. But you're right, because he's going to start year 3, and if he has a good year 3 or year 4, he's holding out, and he holds all the cards. You got to pay him.
I still understand that pick. Like, still, like, we're like a month. When the draft was like, back in April? I mean, we're talking about 2-3 weeks ago already. I still don't really understand why they chose Penix. Like, you're one of the worst teams last year in trying to get to the quarterback, and you didn't cover that position. I don't get it.
Well, they drafted Braylon Trice in the 3rd round, a player I like.
It's not bad, but
they could have got a guy in Latu or Dallas Turner.
Easily. Dallas Turner would have fit perfectly there, but I don't know. They had other plans.
No, me and you, the one thing me and you agreed upon is I think every single one of our drafts after they signed Cousins had Dallas Turner to Atlanta at 8. I think every single
yeah.
I know mine was. I'm pretty sure yours was too.
Yeah.
I didn't get that. Look at some of the other games though. This game in London, New York at Minnesota. I'm not sold on Minnesota, but if Minnesota plays well, this is going to be a fun game. Carolina at Chicago could be a low-key fun game. I kind of want to see it because you have 2 Heisman Trophy winning quarterbacks. Could be fun. But look at these other games here. Baltimore at Cincinnati, Miami at New England. I mean, what these are nice divisional games.
Hopefully we can. I'm praying we can split. I don't know what it is with Miami, but we always seem to struggle against them every year. Like, even if it's a close game, it's like we can't figure out the Dolphins. But we'll see.
Indianapolis at Jacksonville is another fun game. Look at this game though. Buffalo at Houston.
Oh, Stephon Diggs.
What a great game. What a great game. And in Vegas and Denver, that's going to be a fun one. This is a great game too. Green Bay at LA.
Yeah, that's going to be offensive showdown right there.
Dallas at Pittsburgh. That could be a low-key fun game. Monday night. I don't know what's going to happen with the Saints, but I mean, look, I'm a Chiefs fan, so I'm excited Monday night at Arrowhead. So, yeah. So it's going to be a fun game. The Clowns and the Bengals return. I seriously, right now, I would pick Pittsburgh to finish dead last in that division because I have no faith that Russell Wilson stands.
I don't know, man. You could say, I don't know. I mean, the Browns have the harder schedule, so it's all. I mean, like I said, it all depends on how these teams start off the season. Like, if you start off, I think if you're in the North, you start off slow. It's gonna be a long year.
I mean, Pittsburgh has to start off fast. Look at this. We're in week 6. Look at this Thursday night game. San Francisco at Seattle. Another good 6 weeks into the season. Every single one of these Thursday night games are must-see TV. I'm not that high on Seattle. I think they made a mistake firing Carroll. I really do.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I don't know why. I still don't understand why they fired him. Like, I don't know. They want to start something fresh or start something new, but
so I'm going to tell you my theory. Paul Allen, who was the Seattle Seahawks owner, he passed away. He was the founder of Microsoft. He's worth like $10 jillion or whatever. His daughter took over as the Seahawks owner. And my opinion is that because Pete Carroll used to report directly to the owner, not the general manager, is that she just didn't want to deal with Pete Carroll because Pete Carroll's personality is a little much. I mean, think about this. You know, you're a girl. Your parents are worth $100 billion, whatever the fuck Paul Allen's worth. I mean, like to her, $500,000 a week is like a pay cut. You know, I probably wouldn't want to deal with somebody like Pete Carroll. I'm putting myself in her shoes, which is almost impossible. But my opinion is that she didn't want to deal with Pete Carroll, and that John Schneider, because now John Schneider reports to the owner only, not Mike McDonald, the head coach. So my opinion is that there's no evidence of this. This is just my opinion. I didn't read something about this. I'm just speculating that Paul Allen liked Pete Carroll, but if I'm the daughter of a multi-billionaire, talking to Pete Carroll might be something I wouldn't want to do.
Right.
I'm just speculating. Pure speculation.
I just still can't believe that Carroll and Belichick are like not like coaching. I mean, it's just crazy. Like you're talking about one of the best coaches in the game don't even have jobs right now. I still can't really.
Yeah, I'll throw Mike Vrabel. He's another guy I can't believe.
Vrabel too, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so
I think he'll get picked up though.
Brian Dable, look,
I think, yeah.
Listen, Brian Dable, you're the coach of the Giants. You got Bill Belichick. Bill Belichick, Pete Carroll, Mike Vrabel, and even though he's not one of the three names mentioned, Ron Rivera has done quite a bit as well. So there's some names out there, and there's some names out there. So Brian Dable, you better get going here. Can the Falcons cut or trade Cousins? They can trade Cousins, but they have to eat a lot of that cap. I think they can cut him after 2 years and take not that much of a loss. But me and Keaton don't get it at all. But the one thing I want to say about the schedule, week 6, all these Thursday night games are must-see TV. All of these games. And there's some really, really good games in here. I'm looking at this Tampa at the Saints. Playoff positioning. This is going to be a good game. Cleveland at Philly could be a really low-key good game. This could be a very key game. AFC, NFC game. Right. Playoff ramifications. This is going to be a good one. But out of all the games here, this is the one I'm really circling. Detroit at Dallas.
Ooh.
What a great game.
A game that Detroit probably should have won. Did you watch that Monday night game last year? That like controversial call? That was crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, seriously, Detroit should have won that game. They returned to Dallas, playoff positioning, possible home field advantage is on the line. What a great game. This is the game that really stood out. And then look at this on Monday Night Football, Buffalo at the Jets.
Whew. That's always a good game. Man. Josh Allen seems to always struggle in New York against that defense, so we'll see.
It's going to be a fun game. It's going to be a fun game. What a great job by the NFL schedule here. First 6 weeks of the season. I mean, I'm a football junkie. I've lived for this stuff. But I'm looking at I don't like Thursday Night Football. All 6 of these games are must-see TV. And then there's several games each week so far I'm looking at, and it's just crazy. Over under win total for Las Vegas this year. I haven't gone over it yet. I believe it's 7.5. I'm you know what, Perry? Give me 1 second here.
I think it's over under.
You know what? I had ESPN bets up, and I don't know if the over under. It
says there's 6.5.
It's 6.5. So I'm way off. I said
Yeah,
7.
about
6.5.
7, basically. Yeah.
All right,
Yeah,
so
about
6.
7.
That's a tough one. God, that's a good one. That's not one I would really bet on, because, and the reason why is that they were trying as hard as they could to draft a quarterback, and I'm really big
Yeah.
on Gardner Minshew. I'm really big on Gardner Minshew, but his ceiling's what? A top 15 quarterback, like that. That's the best he can be, right?
Top 15, top 20, yeah, somewhere in there. Yeah.
So I don't know. The defense. I can't. Oh shit! Did I just forget his name? Eastern Michigan. Should be defensive MVP if the Raiders win more than 9 games. Probably defensive MVP, and I'm just drew a complete blank on his name. I feel like
I can't remember his name. How do I remember his name? From Michigan?
Yeah. Eastern Michigan, number 98, the best defensive end in football, arguably. Anyway, you got maybe the best defensive player in football on the Raiders. You got Gardner Minshew.
Max Crosby.
Yeah, Max Crosby. I am so embarrassed about this. Denver Gator has just DM'd me that I'm a moron. But yeah, I deserve it for that, Denver Gator, by the way. But yeah, maybe the best defensive player in football, but you got an average quarterback. You lose Josh Jacobs, still got Devontae Adams, 6.5 sounds fair. And here's the deal with the Raiders. They don't have to win this year, but I really think that they're going to make a push to try to draft Shadir Sanders, which I think a lot of teams are going to do. So
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's going to be a lot of fun. By the way, we're going to do a lot more college football this year. Denver Gator has agreed to help me out this year for doing some college football. So yeah, week 6 is great here. So we get to week 7. This is the first Thursday night game that, of course, I'm going to watch it, but I'm not like really excited about it. Like Denver at the Saints. I mean, Sean Payton returns back to the Saints. There's some storylines there. Bo Nix. We're going to see Bo Nix on prime time, probably.
Probably, most likely.
Yeah. So the first 6 games of the Thursday night slate, I'm super jacked up for. This one, I'm like, I'm not. I mean, I'm going to watch it, of course. I mean, I watch all of Denver's games.
Yeah.
I'm excited about it as a football fan, but the first 6 weeks, that's must-see TV. This one's not.
Yeah, I don't expect, like I said, I mean, what's his name? Bo Nix is going to have, rookie quarterback. He's going to have his growing pains throughout the season. That's just what it is. He doesn't have a lot to work on. I do like the pickup of who they get in the wide receiver they got from Oregon. Oh, Troy Franklin.
What a great pick.
I do like that pickup. But outside of really him, who does he have really to work with? It's in my opinion, I think Sean Payton made. In my opinion, I think he made a mistake going to Denver, because I'm wondering. People are talking about. People are saying like he may have ruined his what's it called, legacy going there, because is he going to turn Bo Nix into a super? I don't know. It's interesting what he does.
I didn't get it myself because I knew that him and Russell Wilson wouldn't work. I knew that for a fact. There was no possible way. I'll be honest. I thought Jim Harbaugh going to Denver would make more sense.
Yeah, I thought. Yeah.
Yeah, and I thought Sean Payton would make a lot more sense with the Chargers. With Herbert, of course, they stayed 1 year too long with I forget the guy's name, the head coach.
Brand Staley.
Yeah.
Brand Staley.
I thought he was just terrible. Because the Chargers had so much talent. But
yeah.
Yeah. So I think Sean Payton to Denver or to the Chargers made a lot more sense. But I knew it wasn't going to work. So, and by the way, there's no proof that Sean Payton can turn a rookie quarterback. Drew Brees was in the NFL for about 4 years when Sean Payton took over. So, there's no proof that he can do that with a rookie because he's never done it before.
True.
Perry asked a great question. Can the Vikings head coach turn JJ into a solid starter? Keaton, what are your thoughts?
I think he is going to be the starter. Outside of, who's he have? Sam Darnold to compete with him? I don't think he's going to start. I think regardless of the type of year Vikings will have, I think JJ McCarthy is in the right situation. I think, you still have guys like, Justin Jefferson. I know he's been in a lot of trade rumors, but you still have him and then Jordan Addison to work with. So, like, I mean, JJ McCarthy, a guy doesn't really, hasn't been asked to pass the ball a lot in Michigan, given the talent he had around him at Michigan. So, like, I think he's going to be a star. I think he's going to be a star in week 1. And, if he progresses, and I think that's going to be a good thing for the Vikings. So we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I completely. I think he's going to start day 1, and I think that what the plan is just kind of dumb down the playbook in the beginning, and then as he gets used to things, kind of progress and open up the playbook. But you got some questions on the defensive side. Dallas Turner I like, but Danielle Hunter had 17 and a half sacks last year? Was it 17, 19 and a half? I mean, that dude's a stud. And you're asking a rookie to take over. It's a lot.
It's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, you got some questions, but I wasn't that high on McCarthy coming out of Michigan, but out of all the places you could go, I really think that like Minnesota's a good spot. Perry asked another great question here. How long would Jim Harbaugh How long would Jim Harbaugh need to turn around the Chargers? Keaton, what's your thoughts?
How long will it take? Yeah. I mean, it's going to take. I mean, I like what he did. I think he, like I said, Jim Harbaugh is a guy that likes to build his way, and that's through the trenches on both sides. So I think he has the right personnel, but like you said, you have some rookies like Joe Alt. I think he's, he hasn't seen the field yet, but I think he's going to be the best tackle in this draft. But it's going to take some time. It's going, like I said, it's going to take at least. I think it's going to take at least a couple of years before you can call the Chargers a true threat to like a team like the Chiefs, who have been dominant in that division for quite some time now. So,
I mean, you're undergoing the one thing about what Harbaugh wants to do and what the Chargers have done. It's a complete night and day team because they were more of a finesse team, even though Brandon Staley is a defensive coach. They're really much more of a finesse passing team. Now they're going to be a hard-nosed running team. Minimum of 1. I don't think they're going to be that good this year, but that I mean, offensively, there's a lot of talent. I think minimum of 1, but I mean
1.
I think minimum 1. It could take 2 or 3. But the answer to this question, Perry, no, they're definitely staying in LA because they're selling out that stadium to opposing fan bases. But every time the Chargers play the Chiefs, it's more red. When they play the Raiders, it's more
Packers red. Too. Every time they play the Packers, they always I don't know. It's weird.
Yeah, they're selling out that stadium, but only about 10,000 Charger fans are there, and that's how it's going to stay. No, they're making a lot of money in that stadium. They're making a ton of money. So I don't think it will happen anytime soon. No. Oh, Denver game.
Probably the best comment of the night. You already know.
If the Vikings trade Justin Jefferson, what kind of deal can they get? Oh, God. Okay, first of all, they're not going to. The Vikings are going to keep Justin Jefferson.
Yeah, right.
The whole reason they go with a rookie quarterback. But you would get a minimum of – so Diggs got traded from Minnesota to Buffalo. It was like a first and a fourth and 2 other picks. It was an arm and a leg. By the way, that draft pick, that first-round draft pick number 21, was Justin Jefferson. They're not looking to trade him at all, but they would get an arm and a leg for him.
I'd say it's going to take at least 3, maybe 4 first-rounders for him, given how
crazy. By the way, Tyreek Hill was 2. So, it won't happen. I will say getting DJ Reader will help Jack Campbell. Oh, yeah. That was a great pickup. If you're not familiar, the Bengals defensive tackle DJ Reader, who Keaton said would look much better in Chiefs red than Honolulu blue. That's a great pickup, and it will help Jack Campbell quite a lot. You're 100%. I was floored by the Lions getting better in the offseason. I really thought they were going to have a mass exodus, and they didn't. And that's a really, really, really good pickup. Harbs will be there forever. Chargers. They should have fired Staley a couple of years ago, but we'll find out. We'll find out, man. But I mean, it's going to be a fun story. I think it's going to take a little bit. We got some great questions here. So, do you think CJ Stroud can be an MVP candidate? Keaton, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, easily. I mean, come on, let's be honest. Like, type of year, nobody expected CJ Stroud to go in his rookie year and do what he did. Like, in terms of trying to get the most out of his receivers and the team. Like, he's only going to get better. Like, he's like, people are saying, like, going into your second year is the most important year as a quarterback. I think he's only going to get better, like I said. And then you have an improved offense, Stephon Diggs. Let's see if, I know he's been a headache to the Buffalo Bills in the locker room. So we'll see if he can put that to a side and just focus on trying to help the young guys win. So, I mean, I think he's going to be in that. I mean, he should definitely be in the mix to win it for sure. I mean,
I
agree.
You get Tank Dell coming back. You got John Mechie, who I don't know why they weren't using him at all, pretty much. But Nico Collins was just exploded last year.
Yeah, literally.
I remember because he didn't play that COVID year, but he had his pro day and he was like 215, ran a 4.42. He's like 6'3", 6'4", and I was like, God, he'd look good in a Chiefs uniform. And passed him up. Houston got him. First 2 years didn't do anything. Then last year, him and CJ Stroud, kind of funny Ohio State Michigan connection, but it worked. And yeah, CJ Stroud is that. I don't even think it's a question, Perry. I 100% believe he is a candidate. I saw something, it was either on the NFL Network or ESPN, had like the top 10 MVP candidates, and I think Stroud was like 6 or 7. I'm like, that's too low. That's too low. I think he's like number one's Mahomes, who I get it, but I actually wouldn't put him at number one, but CJ Stroud, I think, is top 5. Definitely top 5. This is the question here. Are you familiar with this, Keaton? Who wins, Tyson or Paul?
Tyson? What? Is that a question? Come on.
I think I'm going to buy. I don't subscribe to Netflix currently, but I'm dying. I want to see this. I really want to see this.
There's a lot of hype going into the, like, with Jake Paul, obviously. So I mean, but Mike Tyson, I don't know. Did you
see the video of them? I just watched it like an hour before I came in. I was taking a break from Harrison Butker hate, and so it was in Dallas, and Jake Paul, by the way, he did a fantastic job, Jake Paul. I want to give him a lot of credit. He comes in, and first words out of his mouth were fuck Dallas, you keep booing, I keep doing. And you could not get a crowd more hyped up pro Tyson than what Jake Paul did. So great job in marketing. It worked for me because I'm going to buy Netflix just so I can watch this fight.
Right.
I used to be a huge boxing fan, Perry. I was such a big boxing fan, but I just it doesn't have the appeal to me anymore. But I am going to watch this fight. It
should be a good one.
It's going to be entertaining. It's going to be. By the way, this is the whole thing. People forget boxing's supposed to be. It's entertainment, and I want to see guys like you need guys like Jake Paul who are the villains. Mike Tyson used to be the villain. Now he's the hero, and it's going to be. I can't wait. It's going to be fun. I'm gonna tune in. Reader. Big underrated move this offseason was Reader going to the Lions. Sad to say, 9,000 out of 10,000 fans in attendance at Chargers games are paid extra.
I mean, he ain't lying there.
You may not be, but I mean, it's funny because the Chiefs play there every year, and it's I'm not joking. It's 3/4 red. It really is, and it's
Steelers. Steelers too. Like they travel everywhere. I don't know how they do it. Every stadium, all Steelers fans.
Yeah, every Steelers fans are like cockroaches. They just pop up everywhere. They're disgusting. They're horrible. Yeah, but yeah, they're everywhere. They really are. I'll tell you an underrated fan base, and every time they play at Arrowhead, there's tons of purple. Is Vikings? Vikings fans travel really well. I was floored, but like every time the Vikings, regardless of record. So yeah,
You say Bills?
Yes.
Like in the playoffs, like all those Bills fans that were in the playoffs, all that blue in the front, like behind this, like
Bills fans suck.
Yeah, I hear.
Yeah. Terrion has Surtain written all over. He really does. I think it may take a little longer for Terrion to develop. Remember, he was a former free safety who moved to corner, so he's a little raw, but he's got all the tools to be a superstar.
It's going to help that defense a lot.
Davis. Texans just not even. You're right, Denver Gator. You're right there. Who will be the Steelers' starting quarterback first game at the end of the season? Okay, so it's definitely going to be Russell Wilson to start the season. It would not surprise me at all if Justin Fields becomes the starter midway.
I agree. I think Fields is going to see this, especially if Wilson doesn't perform. Yeah, I could definitely see Fields starting in the middle part toward the end of the year. For sure.
That was one thing that kind of soured him in Seattle was he started calling his own plays. I don't know exactly if he did that in Denver or not, but Sean Payton was adamant that he didn't want him.
When is their bye week?
I don't. Let's find out here. That's a great question here. So Denver Gator goes. Russell the bye week is 10.
10. Okay.
Seriously. Or 9, I'm sorry, week 9.
9. Okay.
That's fair. That's fair. I really think that sometime at the end of the season, Justin Fields is going to play, and there's talk about using him as a kickoff return guy.
What?
Yeah, I don't know, but
I don't know about that. But he definitely will see the field for sure.
Yeah, he will see the field. I think I seriously, if Russell Wilson. He's not going to be there in 2025. And I don't know what the story is with Justin Fields, but I could see the Steelers, especially if they have a losing record, they could be trying to go all in on Shadir Sanders. And I'm going to keep saying this over and over and over again, so get used to it. But yeah, Justin Fields is going to play a few games. I think he's going to play a few games this year. I think he's going to start at least one, but at the end of the season, it could be Fields. Beginning of the season, it's going to be Russell Wilson. Tyson is still a beast. He ain't no Mayweather. I'll be honest, Denver Gator, I would bet on Jake Paul, even though the money is I think it's negative 225. So I have to bet 225 to win 100. I'm not going to put action down. If I did put action down, it would be on Jake Paul. I think Paul will be smart and win on points. I think he'll avoid Tyson like the plague and just jab and move, jab and move, jab and move. That's what I'm expecting.
That's a bold comment.
Okay. I think that what he's doing smart because he's building up all this hype and he's trying to be the villain. But I think that you'll see him jab and move. And by the way, a little boxing reference. When George Foreman won the heavyweight title from the guy that beat Holyfield, I'm drawing a blank on his name. The guy had that plan for George Foreman. He jab, move. And then after the 7th round, he kept on trying to knock Foreman out and got closer and closer and closer. And then it was round 10, Foreman landed that punch, knocked him out. And he lost every single round too. It was universal. He lost every round, but then he knocked him out. And the only way Tyson wins this fight's by a knockout. Tyson's not going to win on points. And I think Jake Paul's smart enough to know that. But
yeah.
I like boxing better than UFC. And I used to be a huge boxing fan, not anymore.
Yeah.
I don't follow UFC.
It's not as well, I mean, it's entertaining, but it's not as popular as it was back.
Yeah, I think the most excited I got with UFC is when Ronda Rousey was destroying everybody, and then when she
was a beast back then. Well, she was. Yeah.
I mean, does she still do wrestling? I think Denver Gator knows this. I don't follow wrestling, but does she's still like main villain in whatever wrestling league it is? But
Whoa. He logged off by accident.
I am sorry. I had some technical difficulties here. I just had some fun here. I apologize, folks.
No, you're good, man.
That was me having some technical difficulties. So what it is that I have Cox Communications, and they're just terrible. So Rakestraw doesn't remind me of Cromartie, but he's a guy I'm very, very high on. Cromartie was a physical freak. Rakestraw's like 5'11", 185, but he's super physical. Played like a star. Yeah. Oh, she left wrestling. Okay, she has a personality.
The cabin.
That's awesome. You know what? Denver Gator says Atlanta will sign Russell in 2025. There's going to be I can almost promise you he's not going to be with Pittsburgh. I can almost promise that.
I'm surprised. I thought weren't they rumored to get him before they got Kirk Cousins, weren't they?
They were. Huh.
Okay.
Yeah, by the way, you're 100% one pride. Tyson gets that hook and it's over. But I think Jake Paul is going to be smart and stick and move. I really believe that.
That's gonna be interesting to watch right there.
I can't wait to watch. Don't get me wrong. I'm pulling for Tyson to win. I really am. But I mean, let's be honest. When you're fighting against an opponent 30 years younger, I mean, which one's faster? But I mean, that's the way I look at it. But I mean, I'm cheering for Tyson, of course. But boxing just don't have a guy that's larger in life. If Mayweather was a heavyweight, if Mayweather was a heavyweight, that's why all these guys are trying to get in that heavyweight division. Do you remember Roy Jones Jr., probably the greatest boxer? He was easily the best pound for pound boxer in the world. He tried to get up to heavyweight and it didn't really work. But so many guys keep trying to move up in weight class. But yeah, Evander Holyfield was the world's greatest cruiserweight, and he just wasn't making enough money. Went to heavyweight and won a title, but I wouldn't call him like one of the greatest ever. So, I mean, look, he's 57, man. That's all I'm saying. I love this comment here. She has a personality of it. I don't follow wrestling, so I don't know. Oh God, you guys are great today. You had her great. She does. Even I don't follow wrestling at all, so I have to.
Yeah, me either.
Yeah, Jared versus defensive rookie of the year. He by the way, that was just such a great pickup. You get both the Florida State guys. You get Jared Verse, and you get. I'm drawing a blank on the defensive
team. The Fisk, the Braden Fisk.
Yeah. Oh God, he's just that. What a great matchup, because the front seven's not bad even without Darren Donald. You add these two guys in. Verse could be easily defensive rookie of the year. Latu could be the guy. I'm anxious to see what Dallas Turner does in that very creative defense. It's going to be. I'm just so excited about football, and I'm so excited. WWF. I don't follow wrestling at all, but yeah. Speaking of Hook, what's Detroit going to do with Hooker? Goff's got the bag. That's a great question, Denver Gator. I think he's going to be the backup. I actually can't wait for preseason because Hendon Hooker is going to play a lot, and I'm anxious to see what happens because it's going to be fun. This is awesome. We're talking boxing here. I think it's awesome. Hooker will be traded for pick. We'll find out. So let's get back to the schedule here. London game, Keaton's Patriots at Jacksonville could be a fun game. Look at this. Look at it.
Hopefully, last year was that was not good. Against the Colts.
No. Jacksonville back-to-back games in London again. By the way, they went 2-0 in London last year, so this could be a lot of fun.
Wow!
Advantage for Jacksonville. Jacksonville, by the way, beat Buffalo in London last year, so keep an eye on that. But there's some low-key really good games here. Cincinnati at Cleveland, Houston at Green Bay. What a great game. What a great game early. Miami at Indianapolis. Then you got Detroit, Minnesota. Vegas and the Rams, kind of a fun game. By the way, Super Bowl rematch right here. San Francisco host the Chiefs.
Ooh, on Fox, 425.
I don't listen. I'm
one
big time. By the way, 10 a.m. This is some bullshit. Like why the fuck would, but it's the thing about living on the West Coast here.
That's true. Yeah, I was like 10 a.m. I was like, forgot you were out in the West.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to deal with waking up, for a 10 a.m. game. I mean, that's just some stupid bullshit. But yeah, Kansas City, the late game at 125. That's some bullshit too. But it's good. This is hard. This is going to be hard for me to get used to because I'm in the Midwest where this would be a 325 game. And that makes sense. You're in Eastern Standard Time, so 425 is even better.
Right.
But yeah, I mean, this is going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game.
For sure, yep.
Going to be a good game. Monday night, Chargers at Cardinals. I'm not too excited about, but Baltimore at Tampa Bay is a low-key, really good game because there's going to be some playoff positioning here, especially for Tampa Bay trying to win its fourth straight NFC South title. And Baltimore's going to be – I mean, Baltimore's schedule is really tough.
It is tough.
They got to do it.
Anybody can win that division in the North. Like, I'm being honest with you right now. Outside of the Steelers, but –
Going to be hard for me to root for the Rams. Too many Florida State
and Michigan players.
Yeah, they did load up. They did load up. Trevor Lawrence does need to take a big step forward. I mean, if Jacksonville
no excuses.
Yeah, if Jacksonville doesn't make the playoffs, you might have to move on in a different direction. If you're Jacksonville, you may have to move on from Trevor Lawrence. You might have to.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Dan, think of Big Brother. All right, so let's go to week 8 here. Could be a fun game here on Thursday night, but the first 6 games for the Thursday night schedule I thought were just fantastic. Denver and the Saints, I'm not too turned on. Minnesota at the Rams could be a lot of fun. It could be a lot of fun if Minnesota's there. I'm predicting it takes some time because you have a rookie quarterback, and I do think J.J. McCarthy will be the rookie quarterback. I think the Rams are a team that is just loaded. Rams may have had – I'll tell you what, I like Verse. I like Brandon Fix. They drafted a Corum, I think, in 3rd round. Last year, they had a great draft. Perry, I'm not going to post that comment, but it's really funny. Yeah, what a great job by the Rams. What a great job by the Rams. And look at this schedule here. Some really great games. Baltimore at Cleveland. That's going to be a good one. Jets at Patriots could be a lot of fun. This is a good one right here. Atlanta at Tampa Bay. Playoff ramifications.
Yeah.
I mean, even though it's only week 8, playoff ramifications.
Ooh, Eagles at the Bengals.
Oh, yeah. Where's that one at? Where's it? Eagles, Bengals.
Go down right there.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, this is a good one. Colts in Houston could be a good one. Green Bay at Jacksonville, something that could be a lot of fun. Philly Bengals in a game that could be a lot of fun. Chiefs Raiders for you old time people, old time rival. Hopefully the Raiders are no good this year.
Ooh, Sunday night.
Look at this though. So 49ers play Kansas City. Then they come back and host Dallas.
That's crazy. And they could probably win all those games too. That's the funny part.
They really could. They really could. And if they do win those games, watch out NFL.
Oh my goodness. Until they meet the Chiefs and then come up short.
Hey,
they end up meeting the Super Bowl again.
Yeah, and by the way, yeah, you're right. You drafted 4 impact players last year. And the Rams had a really good draft. Getting Puka Nakata, I'm butchering his name, in the 5th round, kind of a luck, but They drafted a tight end, Dennis Allen, in the 6th round. His only crime was he ran a bad 40 time, but he actually started a few games last year. So their 3rd round pick out of Tennessee, drawing a blank on his name, he led the team in sacks. So you get him opposite verse. You got some edge rushers. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, there's a lot of things to like about the Rams. So the 49ers, look, Kansas City's no slouch. Dallas is going to be no slouch. Monday night could be kind of a dud. Giants at Pittsburgh. Perry is on record saying he loves the Giants uniforms. Let's go back to these again. Let's go back to this right now again. What the fuck are these?
I
mean, seriously, Giants, come on, man. You're in New York. No. Come on, dude.
That's the actual home uniforms for the 2024 season. Or is that just a throwback jerseys for like Thursday or something?
Hopefully they wear them for one game and burn them. I mean, those things.
Yeah, honestly, that's terrible.
They're terrible. Halloween, this is a great game. So after 2 duds on Thursday night, Houston at the Jets on Halloween. I don't know. Maybe Keaton dresses up and goes trick or treating. I don't know. I don't do shit on Halloween, but I'm gonna watch this game on Halloween. I'm gonna be
watching too.
This is going to be a great game. Houston at the Jets. Playoff ramifications on the line. Could be home field advantage. I don't know. I'm looking at 2 potential. We talked about this earlier. CJ Stroud's MVP candidate. You better believe Aaron Rodgers, if he's healthy, if he's putting up numbers, he's going to be an MVP candidate.
That's true. In this game last year too, you remember CJ Stroud struggled all game. They got blown out by the Jets. Now it's about Rodgers. The defense really did a good job against CJ Stroud, making life hell for him. So we'll see if it's a different type of game this year.
What a great game. So the first 6 weeks of the season on Thursday night, must-see TV, kind of 2 duds. Then you come back with a home run on Halloween. I know what I'm doing Halloween.
I'll be watching that too.
I know it's 5.5 months away. I already know what I'm doing on Halloween. I think the offensive tackle Kansas City took in the draft could be a top. Oh, absolutely. It's Kingsley Samatea.
That's who that was one of my picks I wanted for the pay. I was either wanting him or Paul. Then we end up choosing Caden Wallace, which hopefully it plays out, but he's never played left tackle before. So
I'm not. Yeah, I wasn't. I was kind of wondering if you're going to take a Menahue, and move him from right to left. Is that a possibility? So what I saw. So ESPN has the former Steelers left tackle as your starting left tackle.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh God, you could potentially look like a I think the Patriots could have messed up there, but we'll find out. We'll find out.
Yeah.
And by the way, like there's a chance that Matea starts day 1 at left tackle for the Chiefs, which I'm like, don't let Mahomes get hurt.
I would not be surprised there. He's helped Mahomes a lot.
Yeah. The New York Giants uniforms look like a cross between Montreal Canadiens and University of Michigan. They look terrible. They look terrible. And by the way, it's not Keaton's not just saying that because he's an Ohio State fan. They're just garbage. It's just horrible.
Yeah, that's terrible. I've seen worse stories than that.
This could be a fun game. Dallas at Atlanta. This could be a fun game. This could be a big game. Miami at Buffalo, divisional game, could be a lot of fun.
Early in the year too.
Yeah, I mean Denver. Well, that's probably not going to be a good game. Look at this: Detroit at Green Bay.
Ooh, that's gonna be a game. That might be for the division too.
Yeah, look at that. Rams at Seattle, division game Sunday night. This is a great Sunday night game. Jacksonville at Philly. Doug Peterson returns to Philly.
Yeah.
I don't know. Doug Peterson was a quarterback coach when Andy Reid was in Philly. Then he was the head coach who helped win Philly the Super Bowl. Next year, you kick him out. But big game, playoff ramifications, big game for both teams. What a great job. Monday night, rematch of that god-awful Super Bowl that everybody hated. Tampa Bay comes to Arrowhead. By the way, I don't believe in revenge games, but I will tell you this. The fans Arrowhead Stadium will be rocking that night. It's not a divisional opponent, but believe me, that they're going to be rocking.
I agree. Yep.
If it wasn't for the Falcons drafting Penix, I agree. Keaton says he's still surprised by it. A couple weeks later, I'm still surprised by it. To me, this is a no-brainer. You take Dallas Turner, and then the Colts at 15. They're the first team to take a defensive player, and hey, we'll find out because 5 years from now, Penix may be the starting quarterback and maybe throwing for 5,000 yards and 60 touchdowns a year for the Falcons. So we'll find out. But
he stays healthy.
We'll find out. I still don't get it. We got lucky. Vegas did a coin flip. Yeah, I've heard you guys brought that up. So Keaton, let me ask you this because I didn't hear anything about this. So supposedly, what happened is the Raiders couldn't decide between Brock Bowers and Terrion Arnold, so they did a coin flip.
Oh, I didn't know that. I didn't hear about this. I didn't know that.
So that's what they're telling me in the chat, and they brought this up a couple weeks ago. Is that this was to determine between Terrion Arnold and Brock Bowers was a coin flip. I didn't know that. I haven't seen that anywhere.
Yeah, I didn't think I thought at first because I didn't think Bowers to the Raiders was. I mean, no, I don't think anyone saw that coming. I didn't. In my past mocks, I had Arnold going to the Raiders or Quinion Mitchell going to the Raiders.
I seriously I really thought the Raiders. Now there's lots of talk about the Raiders trying to trade up. Supposedly they were in love with Jaden Daniels, and they were trying to trade up to 2, but they couldn't get it done.
Couldn't do it. Yeah, it was pretty much the top 3 picks were pretty much going to be quarterbacks. I kind of saw that coming.
Yeah, so I mean, after missing a quarterback, the Raiders, I really thought should have gone on the defensive side. You have a defensive-minded head coach, and last year you drafted Michael Mayer. I'm sorry, I always call him Michael Mayer, but I loved him coming out of Notre Dame. I mean, I think he has all the tools to be a star, but you're gonna see a lot of 2 tight end sets with the Raiders this year. It's
him and Devontae Adams should be a good.
We'll find
out. Take pressure off of him. Yeah,
we'll find out. It's going to be interesting. But this Thursday night schedule, I'm not a fan of Thursday night football, but except for those 2 duds, these are all fantastic games. And then you go week 10, Cincinnati, Baltimore, another good one.
Rematch. That's what Joe Burrow got hurt last year in Baltimore.
Yeah.
So
and by the way, Denver Gator brought this up in Germany, New York at Carolina in Germany. You're right. This is a turd. This is just an absolute turd.
Might be worse than last year's game.
Yeah, this is just a turd. The only thing is though, oh God, I almost said Jalen Hurts. I'm drawing a blank now.
Well, for who? What team?
For Carolina, the quarterback.
Bryce Young.
Yeah. We're not going to see a lot of Bryce Young this year. So this is an opportunity to get to check out Bryce Young in a game the Giants have to win. So this could be entertaining. Not must-see TV. I mean, of all the games you could have chose, this is just a dud. But this Thursday night game, Cincinnati at Baltimore, I mean, I'm not a fan of Thursday night football, but what a great job. I mean, all these games are fantastic. There's 2 duds around weeks 7 and 8, but these are all great games. Here we are, week 10, though. These are some games I kind of want to highlight, though. By the way, Atlanta at New Orleans. This is one of the most underrated rivalries in all of sports. I love this rivalry. It's a great game. It's going to be fun. Could have playoff ramifications, but look at these other games. Those San Francisco at Tampa Bay could be 2 division winners. This is a fun one. This is always fun. Philly at Dallas.
Philly at Dallas. Yeah, I was there. That's the classic NFC East battle right there.
It is.
Well, last year though. But.
Look at Sunday Night Football. Detroit at Houston.
Huge.
What a big game this is. AFC versus NFC. 2 teams that went to the playoffs, won some playoff games last year. Big game Sunday night in Houston. What a great game. What a great job by the NFL. This is going to be a fun game.
That's going to be a high-scoring game.
Oh, it's going to be a good game. Going to be a good game. Possible MVP candidates in Golf and Stroud battling it out. It's going to be a fun game. Miami at the Rams on Monday night. I think Miami's going to take a step back. They lost 4 or 5 starters, but
hope you're right.
But hopefully this is going to be a fun one. Miami at the Rams. But Sunday night, Detroit at Houston. I saw that, and I'm just like, oh, my God. Do you think Rattler would get some starts without injuries to Carr? There's a possibility. It's kind of weird because they have 5 quarterbacks if you count Taysom Hill. There's a possibility Rattler doesn't even make the team. Right now, I'm going to look this up on ESPN here. And by the way, ESPN's not the best tool to use. The way the quarterback room is right now, it's Derek Carr, Jake Haener. Jake Haener was a 4th-round pick out of Fresno State last year. Him and Rattler will battle it out. If Rattler gets the backup spot, which is no guarantee, he might get a chance because that offensive line's in shambles with the Saints. They drafted I forgot who it was they drafted in round 1.
Fuega.
Okay. Yeah, he's going to start, obviously. They have some spots they got to fix on the offensive line. So it makes sense that Carr will get injured. Makes perfect sense. If Rattler wins that backup job, which is nothing set in stone, he'll get an opportunity. And by the way, I think if that works out, I think Rattler could work very well in that offense. But keep in mind, Harold Carmichael, the Saints' longtime offensive coordinator, he's gone. I think he's back with Denver. You're looking at different offense with the Saints, so it's Saints are going to be an interesting team this year.
I agree.
Speaking of Young, can he take a step forward? He better take a step forward. Look what C.J. Stroud did. He better take a step forward. And it's a shame because you got Xavier Legette, tons of talent, but raw. Jonathan Brooks, easily the best running back in the draft, but he tore his ACL, I think, in October or November. Is he going to be healthy? Jatavian Sanders, you got him in the 4th round. Great pickup in the 4th round. A raw dude, athletic. He ran a 4.69 at the combine. Ignore it. Watch him on tape. He plays faster. But he's a raw dude. We'll find out. But they got their hands full. New head coach, new system. Drafted 3 young, raw guys. But he better take a step forward because look what C.J. Stroud's doing. We just talked about C.J. Stroud being an MVP candidate. We're yawning about Bryce Young. So, yeah, he better take a step forward. They gave him weapons.
Yep.
Do you think Allen and the Saints head coach can develop Rattler? I'll be honest with you. I think you guys are jumping the gun because I like Jake Haener coming out of Fresno State last year. There's no guarantee. I'm going to tell you, there's no guarantee Rattler's even going to make the team. But if he becomes backup quarterback, we'll find out. But I think they're all in on Derek Carr. John Gruden's actually a consultant with the Saints, and he worked with both Dennis Allen and of course, he worked with Derek Carr, huge Derek Carr fan. So, they're kind of going all in with Derek Carr. So I don't think they're really concerned about Rattler. He may not even make the team. Don't expect much from Miami. They're a shell of a team that they had. Window of opportunity is closed. They lost so many starters last year.
Couldn't agree more.
Agree
more.
Look, their season ended at home last year when they lost to Buffalo. They win that game against Buffalo. They host a playoff team. You never know.
They could finish last too in the division, because Tua. Did you hear about him holding out because of his contract?
Yeah, they're trying to work that deal out. I have no idea what to expect, to be honest with you, because there was talks that he's going to take a team-friendly contract. Now he's holding out. I don't know what to expect with Tua. I really don't.
Me neither.
If Rattler gets put Okay. So if he gets cut, absolutely. I mean, there was talk. A lot of people thought he was the second, third round grade. He lasted all the way to the 5th round. If he gets cut, he will 100% sign with another team on the practice squad. Okay, practice squad. That's what. Okay.
Oh,
So if Rattler gets put on the practice squad, will another team sign him? Absolutely.
what about Dallas? I mean, Dallas. I mean, I remember we were on the we did that mock draft. I think it was Chief Sean. He said something about Dallas getting Rattler. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah, I was kind of surprised by it, but I mean, I've seen weirder things happen, like Penix going number 8 to the Falcons.
Yeah, that was definitely a surprise of the draft. I was like, what the heck?
Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, look, a lot of people thought very highly of Spencer Rattler. So if Rattler does get put on the practice squad, he will 100% get signed by another team. Denver Gator says, I never thought Young was a good NFL prospect. Seriously, I go back to my videos. I had CJ Stroud as quarterback number 1. I had him going to Carolina because Frank Wright was a former NFL quarterback. Frank Wright is kind of a big dude. I mean, I'm 5'8", so he's 6'3". So yeah, he's a big dude compared to me. I thought there was no way he would go with the smaller Young versus CJ Stroud, and they did, and Wright lost his job at week 11. But yeah, Carolina, as of right now, big swing and a miss taking Young over CJ Stroud. So
yeah, I forgot. Yeah,
go Lions! I got Howder's House 710 in the house. Which team will go first? Worst? I think it's the Bengals.
I agree.
The Bengals, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if Burrow's healthy and then what they already have offensively, I mean, yeah, I don't see why they are not in the mix for that.
It's kind of funny. Every other year, Burrow plays a full season. So year 1, he got injured. Year 2, he played a full season. They went to a Super Bowl. Year 3, injured. Year 4, and then I think this year was year 5. So year 6, this is year 6 for Burrow. They took some swings in the draft with Amarius Mims and Jermaine Burton, and they drafted a couple of defensive tackles. But I'm very high on the Bengals. Tua has no leverage to hold out. He hasn't proved himself enough to get a big deal. Miami will just replace him next year and save. I seriously thought there was a good chance that Penix lasted to 21. The Bengals could have done that, or the Dolphins.
That would have been such a nice pickup. Like I said before, like Penix, like the way he throws the ball between him and Tua like throws the ball down the field, and then his receivers have to turn their body around and try to catch it. Like Penix can put the ball while the receiver's in stride. That would have been if he would have fell that far down, I would have definitely done that in a heartbeat if I was the Dolphins. But
there's going to be some good quarterbacks coming out in this draft. But yeah, I don't think Tua has any leverage. Miami's one of those teams that they did some questionable stuff in the off season and in the draft, and we're just going to have to wait and see. I mean, I'm not sold on McDaniel. The NFL loves him. I'm not. But
yeah, he kind of makes me mad. I mean, he's a good coach, but like the way he just wears the stuff he wears on the side, I was like, why? What like? And he's winning games too. It just doesn't. I don't know.
I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't think it. Do you think the Bengals should trade Burrow? They can't. They just can't. They can't.
No.
There's injury.
He'll get the bag.
Contract.
He'll get the bag. Whatever.
He already got
the bag, right?
Yeah, he got the 275.
Oh, I forgot about that. Shoot.
Yeah, he got something crazy. In the injury history, there's no possibility. So I still think that this is a great Wednesday night game. I don't expect much from Washington, and I do expect a lot from the Eagles, but I'm really excited because I get to watch Jaden Daniels in a primetime game at Philly. We got Washington at Philly, week 11. I think it's going to be a great game. This is a game I'm going to really be excited to see. I don't expect much from Washington, but if Washington's hovering around 500, then this is definitely a huge game. If Philly falls apart and they're hovering around 500, you got to win this game. So I think this is going to be a great game.
I agree. Washington won 7 games. I think they won 7 last year, I believe, right?
They won 7 last year, and you never know. I mean, it's a weird league, but I'm excited. I think the NFL on Thursday Night Football has just aced it. I mean, all these games are great games. All these games, except for those two in the middle, these are all must-see TV. Look at some of these afternoon games, though. Jacksonville at Detroit.
That's a good.
Oh, God.
Good game there.
Good game. That's going to be a great game. If the Saints are in playoff contention, this could be a big game. Cleveland at the Saints.
Yeah.
That could be a good one. Baltimore at
Saints
Pittsburgh.
good defense.
Oh,
yeah, true.
TV.
Pittsburgh swept them last year, too.
Oh, yeah. Pittsburgh, I think, swept them. So, this is a big game. Seattle at San Francisco. It's a divisional game. Kansas City at Buffalo.
Ooh.
Always a good game.
Yeah, Buffalo is they always beat the Chiefs in the regular season, but when it comes to that playoffs, that's a different story.
It's going to be a fun game. And by the way, Perry, I think Philly returns to form. I do too. I really do too. And really, in my opinion, the only question is about this game, because this is week 11. Is Washington close to 500? Because if Washington let's just do this here real fast here. So we go to Washington's schedule, so that they don't have a bye till late. Bad thing for Washington. Can they get through this schedule here and win? Let's see. Can they be 5-5? So I'm looking at some of these games here. Tampa, maybe, you never know. Week 1, Giants is possible. Arizona's possible. Carolina's possible. Chicago's possible. Giants are possible. So when they get to Philly, can they be a 5-win team? And if they are, then this is a huge, huge game.
True. Yeah.
He says NFL, but he means NFC. The NFC West will be a tough, close division this year. The Rams and the Cards have gotten better. Yeah, I think the Rams might be my favorite to win the NFC West. Seattle's a complete unknown. I'm excited to see what Arizona did. I mean, they got nice players in the draft. You get Kyler Murray. Perry thinks the Seahawks. I think firing Pete Carroll's a mistake. But, I mean, look at this schedule. By the way, look at this Monday night game. Houston at Dallas.
Ooh.
Houston at Dallas. I mean, this whole week is great. Week 11. So you get Washington at Philly. Right? And then you got some really good Jacksonville at Detroit. This could be a huge game. This could be huge. And then I get Kansas City and Buffalo. Serious? And then Monday night, Houston and Dallas. What a great game.
NFL's doing a good job so far. They're doing a good job with these games. I'm actually impressed so far.
I'm really impressed. So week 12, Thursday night, Pittsburgh at Cleveland. This is going to be a fun game.
That's always a fun game.
This is always a
game. Yeah.
Yeah, this is going to be a good game. You got some nice divisional games here. Minnesota at Chicago, Dallas at Washington. But you also got Detroit at Indianapolis. I have no idea what to expect from Indianapolis. This could be a fun game. Your Patriots always struggle in Miami. This is always interesting.
It is later on in the year, though. I mean, like I said, until we actually prove to beat the Dolphins, they tend to have our number every year. So we'll see. Hopefully a different outcome.
Kind of an interesting story. I don't think Tennessee's going to do much, but if they prove me wrong, this could be a fun game. Look at Sunday Night Football, Philly at LA.
What a game there. That's going to be a great game.
Yeah, it's going to be a great game. And then, you know what we got? Monday Night Football right before Thanksgiving, the Harbaugh Bowl. Baltimore at LA.
That's an underrated game.
It's going to be a fun game, even if the Chargers aren't that good, which I don't think they will be. But if the Chargers are good, then this is going to be a ton of fun. If I am the 49ers, I'm making trades at the trade line. Yeah, I mean, do they move on? Do they move on from Brandon Ayuk? I mean, because I've heard a lot of stuff about him and Debo being traded. I kept on hearing it. I was expecting it maybe draft day, and it never happened. And then they take a receiver in round 1. So, yeah, I could see this happening. And by the way, Perry, I could see it happening for a player. They may need another edge rusher. They may need another defensive back. Don't be surprised if they get rid of one of their receivers and go defense.
True. And they lost, what's his name? The dude that went to the Jaguars, their best, what's his name?
Oh, Eric.
Armstead. Is it Eric Eric Armstead, I think that's his name.
Yeah. I mean, you never know. The 49ers are a team that I have no idea what to think. They didn't have a lot of depth last year. They got some injuries, some age on defense. They got 2 really good wide receivers. There was trade talk about both of them. Then they draft one. So I'm a little confused on what they do. I seriously, Perry, I have no idea what the Dolphins and Tua. That's going to be an interesting story going. Here's what I think. He's going to play this year, and after this year, the Dolphins are going to have to make some decisions. That's what I think.
They have to. I mean, like, especially like, yeah, I mean, they'd have to. I just don't think he's the guy. I said the same thing about Daniel Jones.
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah, I mean, there's several teams that are going to make some interesting decisions, and like I said, and I'll say it over and over again until he starts bombing. If he does bomb, it's Shadir Sanders has all the tools to be number 1 pick in the draft this year. And I think that hype is just going to keep going up and up and up and up. So we go to Thanksgiving here. And I think that there's 2 really good divisional games, Chicago and Detroit. So Lions fans, don't be mad, but you've lost 8 or 9 straight Thanksgiving games. Now you got a rookie quarterback coming in Ford Field. We got to turn this around. Got to turn this around. Got to win on Thanksgiving. New York and Dallas could be a good one, but then the third game, this could be a lot of fun. Miami at Green Bay.
Dolphins and Packers. Right? No, who's that?
What's that?
Oh, all right. I was trying to see what team that was.
Yeah, Miami at Green Bay. That's
Miami. Okay.
Yeah. Oh my God! I got Cheryl from Hey Girl TV. She goes, my man Dan. Hey. This is my girl, Cheryl. Cheryl.
What's going on?
By the way, Cheryl has a YouTube channel. It's Hey Girl TV. She was not making some videos. I haven't had a chance to watch them yet, Cheryl, but I saw you got them out. So I'm glad you're making content again for fragrance. Was it fashion, fragrance? There's one other thing. I know it's fashion, fragrance. So it's mostly geared towards women. However, she's made some specialty videos for men. Part my request, because I like wearing cologne every now and then. She had some good cologne videos for men. So make sure you check out her channel. This is my girl. For last year's, Dan always declares a 40. I do every year. I keep saying they're going to be a subpar team. Thanksgiving is fantastic, but one thing the NFL started last year is the Black Friday show with
true.
Black Friday football. And here's what they're doing. This year, Chiefs Raiders at Arrowhead Stadium. This is going to be a fun game. Even if the Raiders beat the Chiefs on Christmas last year, ruined everybody's Christmas. Nobody liked Christmas last year because the Raiders beat the Chiefs. Black Friday, it's going to be a fun game. So I'm coming June 11th through 14th. Thanks. I'm feeling better. I'm glad. Cheryl, you got my number. Let me know. I will try to move some things around so I can come see you because she's coming out to beautiful Las Vegas. I didn't know that. So text me and I'll try to take at least one day off so I can come visit you. I would actually let you stay here, but you don't want to sleep on this couch. Just trust me. If I was the GM of the Fins, I would be trading Tua for picks and sign a veteran quarterback. I think you're preaching to the choir, but for whatever reason, they just want to stick with Tua. So, and by the way, the 49ers, this could be a bad year. So, so Black Friday, instead of going shopping on Black Friday, which by the way, if you're trying to go shopping on Black Friday, you're just an idiot. Do it online.
Yeah, it's always some fight. That's why we do our stuff online every year.
Do it. I seriously, you do not want to go to Walmart or wherever you're going. Do not go on Black Friday. That's a mistake.
Do it
online. Do it online.
Do it.
Keaton is buying me presents on Black Friday online this year. So, thank you, Keaton. All right, so let's look at some of these games. So Monday Night Football, Cleveland at Denver, probably going to be a dud. But I'm going to be excited to see Bo Nix play against a really good defense. And if Denver's hovering around 500, it could be a playoff game.
Might be a trap game for the Browns.
Never know.
Yeah.
You never know. And take a look at some of these. Take a look at some of these games. Pittsburgh at Cincinnati. We talked about that earlier. This could be a fun game. But I'm looking at some Houston at Jacksonville's a fun one.
That's gonna be a good game.
These last two games. These are
goodness.
great games. Philly at Baltimore. AFC and a possible Super Bowl preview here. Philly and Baltimore. San Francisco at Buffalo on Sunday night.
That's
How
gonna be.
fun is it?
And it's gonna be cold too. That's gonna be.
Oh God, yeah. I mean, we're in December. I mean, it's kind of funny because when the Chiefs played Buffalo in Buffalo, it was like 30 degrees warmer in Buffalo than it was in Kansas City. Kansas City had that cold spell. But I mean, it could be 60, it could be negative 20 with a foot of snow. You don't know. Nobody knows. Buffalo's weird that way, but you got to travel across country. So 49ers got their hands full. And God, this is just going to be a great Sunday night game. The Sunday night game's definitely better than the Monday night game, unless Denver looks really good. We'll find out. But Thanksgiving is going to be a lot of fun. 2 divisional games, and then Miami at Green Bay is going to be a great game.
Can Detroit actually win on Thanksgiving? For
they better.
This might be the year. That could be the year.
But then you get Green Bay and Detroit again on Thursday night. So we talked about Thursday night football. Thursday night, the Thursday, yes, reach out to me because I would love to run into you while you're here in Vegas. I'll do my best to get off work. The Browns should be a Super Bowl contender if they play well this year. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of question marks because he got injured mid-season. Stefanski wants to run a run-based offense. Deshaun Watson's best when he spread. There's a lot of question marks. The way they played in the playoffs last year was embarrassing, but I mean,
yeah, that was terrible. I was not,
I picked Houston to win that game. That was kind of my upset pick, but I didn't think they would win that easily. And great job by Houston. But I mean, Thursday night football, what a great game this is going to be. Green Bay and Detroit. Could be for the NFC North, could be for playoff positioning. Huge, major game here. Then you have some other games here. Cleveland at Pittsburgh could be a big one. Buffalo at the Rams. That's going to be a huge one. Of course, you'll be cheering for the Rams. I think everybody's going to be cheering for the Rams. That's just a
rematch of week 1 when I think the Rams won the Super Bowl and they came and played the Bills week 1. Got blown out. I remember that.
Right. That's right. So I mean, it's going to be a good game. Sunday night football. Look, if the Chargers are any good this year, it's going to be a great game. By the way, for those of you that don't know, the Chargers Chiefs are always entertaining games, mainly because the Chiefs usually win. But and by the way, December in Kansas City, we talked about it. It could be 60, it could be negative 20. You have no idea. It's going to be a good game. It's going to be a good game. Green Bay can challenge for the NFC North this year. No, absolutely. Absolutely, they could.
I agree.
So she's giving Keaton. So this is Cheryl. This is from Keaton Talks Sports. Please subscribe to his YouTube channel. I put the link to Keaton's channel in the description below. So definitely check out his channel. He will
see you on here.
Check your channel out as well. Or I can't force him to do it, but I know Keaton. He'll definitely check out your channel. Go Bills over to Scam Rams. And by the way, I dislike.
My gosh.
Oh wow.
Oh my God.
Monday Night Football. This could be a great game. Bengals and Cowboys.
Bengals at Dallas. Good.
This could be a fun game.
In Dallas too. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Good game.
This could be a great game. So the NFL schedule's just nailed it so far. I mean, just phenomenal. Look at Thursday night again. Rams at 49ers.
NFL's on fire.
Game. What a great job here. And this is, by the way, I know you're not a Chiefs fan, but Chiefs
that's gonna be a great game.
Early. What a great game that is.
That's gonna be great. That reminds me a little bit of that game last year when was it San Francisco went into Cleveland and everyone thought Cleveland would get blown out, and then they end up winning by a few points. I don't know. That'll be a good game right there.
I mean, do check Keaton's channel. He's got a nice channel. He's doing a great job. So share. We're all here to support each other when it comes to YouTube.
Definitely.
And then there's some Miami at Houston could be a good game. This is a big one though. Buffalo at Detroit.
Ooh,
oh man, Lions.
That's gonna be on fire. That's gonna be a good game right there.
Pittsburgh and Philly. That's going to be a good one. This could be a fun game. Tampa Bay, and then Sunday night football. Green Bay and Seattle. This could be a fun one. But okay, so Monday night has Chicago at Minnesota's fun because you're gonna have 2 rookie quarterbacks probably.
True, yeah, true. Ooh, that environment too. Minnesota has a good environment. I like their crowd gets into the game for sure.
I like that skull chant. I think it's really cool. I like that skull chant. And then Atlanta at the Raiders. Hopefully this is an entertaining game, as in Atlanta wins by 50. Nobody wants to see the Raiders win. I can tell you this, living here in Vegas, like Vegas will be ready even if this is like a 5-win team.
Would you go to a game in Vegas?
Oh God, so ticket prices in Vegas are insane. I can't afford it. I can't. But I want to do this, not this year, but next year. I'm going to try to either go to a preseason game or a UNLV game because UNLV now plays, and I really want to see the stadium. I really want to see it because I've driven by it and it looks awesome. Oh yeah. Yeah,
out there. Yeah.
By the way, it's near the Strip, and like I don't know, like if you drive or like if they have like, I don't know how it is, but I do. So here's a weird thing about Vegas: when you live here, the Strip is like Mars or whatever. Like nobody who lives in Vegas goes to the Strip, but like when you visit Vegas, you go to the Strip. It's really weird. So like I try to avoid the Strip like the plague, but. This year, I'm not going to the Raider Stadium at all, but it's on my bucket list. I've been to Arrowhead over 300 times, and But Harry has a great question. Do you think we get a few tie games this year?
Steelers. I mean, remember that Steelers Cardinals game last year went and tied up. Was it? It was either last year or the year before. It was in Pittsburgh when the Cardinals and Steelers tied up.
You know, with the new kickoff rules, the NFL doesn't want to do tie games. I can tell you this for an absolute fact. And with the rules that they have with teams going now, what is it that both teams get a possession? No, that's only for the playoffs. But the NFL is trying to eliminate ties. I'm going to say no. But you never know. I mean, you really never know because the one thing the NFL is trying to do is increase scoring and eliminate ties. So I don't think so. And I know the NFL is trying really hard is trying really hard to eliminate that. So I don't think so, but you never know. Do you think Baker regresses this year? Keaton, what are your thoughts?
Do you think Baker regressed this year? I don't know if he does. I mean, they brought back most of the players from last year. I mean, I think Tampa is going to be right in the thick of things again this year for that division. So, I mean,
the offensive line. You got you got Godwin.
Godwin's still there. Yeah, I mean, I don't see him regressing. I think, like I said, they solidified the offensive line. They brought all their wide receivers back. So I think he's gonna, I don't know about the numbers he'll put up this year compared to last year, but I think I don't see him regressing like that.
It's hard to say because their offensive coordinator took the Carolina Panthers head coaching job. How much of an impact is he going to have? I don't know. I'll be honest. Up until the draft, until Penix was the pick, I had the Falcons winning that division. Then after they took Penix, I'm like, I think Tampa Bay's going to win it. Can the Saints fix their offensive line? I mean, I don't know. Carolina to me is probably going to finish last, but we'll find out. I don't know. I don't think so, but we'll find out.
Yeah, we'll find out.
Yeah, Pittsburgh and Philly is usually it's a nice AFC NFC game. One I really like. UNLV is a sleeper team to watch this year. Market at Denver Gator. I'm glad you said that. And Denver Gators agreed that during the season he's going to come on and talk some college football with me. UNLV is a sleeper team. They lost the Mountain West Conference title game. They bring back a lot of guys, even though there's not NIL money. It's an enticing place for a transfer portal, because if you have to play for a year, why not come to Vegas? So I think now that they got, I think it's the offensive coordinator from Arkansas. It was his first year, and after he won, I think they won a bowl game, but they lost the Mountain West Conference game. I think they won a bowl game, and he stayed. Usually, if you go to Mountain West school and you win 9 games, you bounce for a higher paying job. He stayed. So UNLV might be building something here. So, I mean, that's why they got the Raiders here. One of the smartest things the Raiders did is that they, old Sam Boyd Stadium, which is actually just like 5 minutes from here, is where UNLV used to play. It's I haven't been inside because it's blocked off, but it's a dump. They play their games now at Allegiant Stadium, which is right by the Strip, and even though they block off sections, it's starting to like really, like, they're doing more and more college games, and I think they're going to play. I think they're trying to get an all-star game in Vegas again. So, yeah, they lost their offensive coordinator, so that's why I don't really know. I don't really know, but we'll find out here. It's going to be fun. I think Tampa with Baker wins the division again. Yeah, Kirk, I said what? Yeah, I got Tampa winning that division right now.
I agree.
My cousin is mad. He said, yeah, he shouldn't be.
Yeah, why? Yeah, I mean, you pay him all that money, then you go out and get a quarterback in the draft, like that.
Yeah, it doesn't make any sense.
Still don't get that. They don't understand that.
You draft Dallas Turner and you guarantee yourself a home playoff game.
Yeah,
to either or draft either one of those guys and you host a playoff game. It's that simple. It's that simple. And I love Penix. Thursday night football again. Cleveland at Cincinnati. What a great job. What a great job. Like, except for those 2 games in the middle, every single one of these games must see TV. Saturday, December 21st. Look at this. Houston at Kansas City. Ooh. Early game. Then you get Pittsburgh at Baltimore on Saturday. So Thursday night's a great game. A pair of really great games on Saturday. What a great job. And I mean, Monday Night Football, Saints, if they're any good, this could be fun. Sunday Night Football, Tampa at Dallas. That's going to be a great game. So San Francisco at Miami could be fun.
Ooh, cross-country trip.
Cross-country trip. Denver and Chargers. You got divisional rivals. Philly at Washington. This is the game that I'm really excited about. Rams at Jets.
Oh,
that could be all sorts of fun. Your Patriots play the Bills. That's going to be a fun one. Detroit and Chicago, always a fascinating game.
That's lovely. Yeah.
Yeah. Would a Falcons GM be let go?
Who's your GM again? The GM is.
I can't think of his name, but him and Arthur Smith came on at the same time, and him and Arthur Smith butted heads. And Arthur Smith, who got Kyle Pitts, and I can't remember who it was, but the Falcons general manager wanted somebody else except Kyle Pitts. I want to say a quarterback, and Arthur Smith won, but he didn't win games, so he got let go. I think it's a strong chance, but like if they win 7 games and this Cousins thing doesn't work out and Penix doesn't work out, absolutely. They win 11 games and the Falcons host a playoff game, then no. So, but definitely on the hot seat because it's a great idea. Denver Gator says it's a great idea to have these young millionaire players go into Vegas, get drunk, take their money, home field advantage, follows Vegas, and be giving all the vision. So I won't get into this, but I've heard stories about Vegas casinos giving vouchers like college kids and NFL players, but I don't know that for a fact. I'll tell you more stories off the air though, because I mean I've been on for like almost 3 hours now, and we're almost finished though. We're almost finished. Week 17, Christmas. Look what you have for Christmas.
Damn.
Kansas City at Pittsburgh. Kansas City should win this game. Hopefully this is a snooze fest, but by week 17, by the way, listen, week 17, I'm not trying to be a dick. You could see I forgot his name already. I forgot his
Justin
name.
Fields.
No, well, actually, we could see Justin Fields. I was talking about the Chiefs' backup quarterback, who was the Eagles' quarterback, Carson Wentz.
I forgot he was on the Chiefs.
Yeah, so Carson, this could be Carson Wentz against Justin Fields. Hopefully, by the way, by week 17, I think that there's a very good chance the Chiefs will have this division wrapped up. I'm not trying to be a dick, but let's be honest.
If they're the 1 seed, if they have home field, or maybe even if the Chiefs are like a 3 seed, even if they clinch the playoffs, they might just sit some of their starters. I mean,
exactly. Exactly. And by the way, this is a Wednesday game. So the Chiefs will play. So we already talked about this, but so the Chiefs play a fun game Saturday, both Pittsburgh. But so that you play a fun game at Arrowhead, and then you travel. What was it? Saturday to Wednesday, you travel to Pittsburgh. Maybe they rest starters. You don't know. This game, however, Baltimore at Houston, that could be for playoff positioning. It could be for home field. It's going to be a huge game. This Thursday night game could be a stinker. Seattle at Chicago.
Yeah, it might be a low scoring. I mean, Chicago that time of year that's not a fun place to play. And in the cold, in that city, windy city.
Yeah. I mean, so like they had all these Thursday night games are must see TV except for 2 in the middle. This one. I'd be anxious to see how Caleb Williams does in cold weather and everything. I mean, I'm obviously going to watch the game, but this is one I'm kind of like, of all these Thursday night games, I'm really excited about all of them. This one I'm kind of like, By the way, if this is a playoff game, give credit to the NFL, but I think this could be a snooze one. Some of these games could be a lot of fun. These to be determined. I'm not really excited about this, but look at Monday Night Football here.
Ooh, choice. Ooh, rematch. NFC title.
God, what a great game on Monday night. Sunday night could be fun. Miami at Cleveland, but Dallas and Philly, I think, is the main one. This could be a lot of fun here. Green Bay at Minnesota could be interesting. New York and Buffalo is probably going to be the key one. But kudos to the NFL because I think Baltimore and Houston is going to be a lot of fun. Dallas and Philly's fun, but this Monday night game that's
gonna be a great game right there.
God, yes, it is. Yeah, absolutely. You got to protect the best player in the NFL, Perry. You got to protect the best player in the NFL. It's key, and it's open competition at left tackle, which I'm not too excited about. But hey, if Sua Matea becomes a Pro Bowl left tackle, then I'm super happy.
Yeah, he's gonna be a great fit for the Chiefs there at that position.
We are finally down to week 18, and here's the deal. Last year, we were blessed. Houston played the Colts with a win-and-end game. I'm looking at several of these as possible win-and-end games. Specifically, Cleveland at Baltimore could be a win-and-end.
Pittsburgh and Cincinnati, too.
That could be one. Miami and the Jets. I would love it if Buffalo and New England was. LA and Vegas, I really love because 2 hours away from each other. This could be a lot of fun. I'll be honest, of all the teams in the NFL, Indianapolis to me is the biggest question mark. Who knows what Anthony Richardson's going to do? Minnesota and Detroit, that's always a good game. Kansas City, Denver, but we'll find out. Guys, I know we were on for a while, so thank you very much for your support. And I mean, I just got to tell you, like, I looked at the schedule I looked at the Thursday night games. I look at the primetime games. I look at the overall schedule. I looked at the Chiefs schedule, which last year I thought the NFL did the Chiefs a favor, not this year. The NFL clearly hates the Steelers, as we talked about earlier. But when I look at this schedule, it's just amazing. What a great job by the NFL here. I couldn't give the NFL enough credit here. I was kind of curious what your opinion was, Keaton, because I remember at the time when divisional games weren't the last game of the year, and the NFL changed that quite a while back. But as somebody who's used to that and seeing that, I'm excited that you're on the same page that I am, that this is a great schedule.
It is. I'm excited. I think the NFL did a good job being creative and just trying to make games exciting, especially like the Thursday night games, which has been pretty bad the past couple of years in terms of the matchup. So,
yeah,
I mean, outside of those,
there's only 3 of them that I'm like, but the rest of them are just like must-see TV. I mean, out of the, what is it, 15 Thursday night games that they have, minus the Christmas ones, the Black Friday game between Chiefs and Raiders, that's going to be much better. If you're out shopping on Christmas, or if you're shopping on Black Friday instead of watching Chiefs Raiders, you're just wrong. Buy me a present online like Keaton's doing. So how long is Wilson cap hits and how long is the hit? Okay. Well, the cap hit, I'm assuming you're talking about Russell Wilson. Okay. I believe it's the next 2 years for the Denver Broncos. The Steelers are paying him almost nothing. But I believe the Denver Broncos are mostly on the hook this year, and I think a little bit next year. I'll have to double check that. But I know they're on the hook a lot for this year. That's why you have to go with a rookie quarterback. There could be some changes. Their receiver, I'm drawing a blank on his name, Cortland Sutton. He requested a trade. They traded Jerry Jeudy. They released Justin Simmons. I want to tell you without looking it up, Perry, if you, by the way, remind me next week and I'll look it up. And by the way, all my social media links are below. The link to Keaton Talks Sports is also listed below. If you're on social media, Perry, I'm still on Facebook's banned list. Dumb as hell, but
I'm banned list.
So what it is, I got canceled on Christmas. They said that when I was doing my live streams, I was doing it on Facebook, and they said that I was doing copyright infringement, and I've kept emailing them. It's like, no, it's not copyright infringement. It's my YouTube channel, and it's been since Christmas, so almost.
Oh, wow. Huh.
Yeah, I hate Facebook right now.
Yeah, Facebook. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do TikTok yet. I think you're on TikTok. Is that correct?
I'm on there. I don't post on there much like other people do, but I'm on there a little bit. But
I don't even have a TikTok. So right now it's Twitter, it's Instagram. It's kind of funny because some people only use Twitter, some people only use Instagram. I go both ways, which is okay. Like we talked about in the very beginning of the show. Just because you have a different type of lifestyle doesn't mean you can't be on my show. So I'm not part of that radical left that will just cancel you if you disagree with me. But I believe it's this year and next year. But Denver's in a bad spot unless Bo Nix really ramps it up. But they got some holes on defense. Cortland Sutton's demand. By the way, I do expect at the trade deadline, if Denver starts off slow, for Cortland Sutton to be moved.
Oh yeah, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, matter of fact, the perfect team is the one that's listed right behind you with that flag. I was kind of expecting.
Yeah.
I was
that'd be great.
Yeah, I was kind of expecting New England to make a move for Sutton, but it didn't happen. By the way, you're right. Yeah, late division games. Yeah, and by the way, there will be at least one of these games that's going to be a win and end game, at least one. So. Do you think the NFL starts cracking down on teams trying to get around the cap, things like void years, etc.? Not really. The salary cap, I think, overall is working. There's going to be tricks and there's going to be tweaks to it every year. For example, right now, one of the big tweaks that they have is an international exception. So players are signing international players. You saw that the Lions drafted a player from British Columbia, but I think they're using it on somebody else. The Chiefs brought in a rugby player from New Zealand who could be the kickoff return guy. They're always going to make changes. So I wouldn't say crack down as much as they are going to make changes. Denver Gator says, Dan, Perry, Keaton, always a pleasure. Good night, because you're on the East Coast, so it's like 4 a.m. there. I'm joking. It's not even 8 here where Keaton's at. It's 11. So we're going to wrap up since we've been on the air for about 3 hours here. First of all, kudos to Keaton Talks Sports for staying up till 4 a.m. here. Actually, I'm joking, but he does have an exciting party to get to. I know this because he's a young kid. He's definitely going to go out partying after the show. Before we wrap up, Keaton, final thoughts, comments, anything you want. The floor is yours for the last couple of minutes of the show.
Yeah, thank you again for having me on. It's always a pleasure to come on your show. Subscribe to my channel. Obviously, if you guys aren't already, I posted a video yesterday, or was it 2 days ago, about my Patriots schedule. So subscribe there. About halfway to 600. So I'm trying to get that up there before the season starts. So,
all right.
Yeah, it's going to be.
Yeah, subscribe to Keaton's channel if you haven't already. I know Hey Girl TV, Cheryl from Hey Girl TV will hit that subscribe button. Good night, everybody. And Keaton, thank you so much for taking the time, almost a 3-hour show. A little longer, but, I mean, we had a lot to go over with the NFL schedule. Plus, I had to rant about Harrison Butker's hate, which I'm still bitter about. But
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, but hey, I'm glad you joined. Next week's show, I'm going to break down the AFC, kind of do an in-depth detail of how I look at things before the June 1st free agency. Because come June 1st, we're going to have some more free agents. It's going to be a great time. And the NFL schedule, it's 3.5 months away, but it's going to come a lot faster than you think. Football season's right around.
Gosh,
right around. So, guys. Have a great weekend. I'll see you all back next Friday.